Sulat na isang libro.
James Fisher. Harris, plenty of hyphens out there as per the New Zealand Warriors. Centre field 30 out. Wade Egan takes advantage of unsquare markers, and it's going to be 6 more as a result as well for the Warriors. So they've had 73% possession so far, the home side, for their 6-0 lead. And making it look easy here. Jackson Ford carries the footy into the clutches of Beau Fermor. He'll play it there for Egan. 13 metres out now for the Warriors. Boyd off to Harris Tavita. On to Halasima, who drags Jaden Campbell with him and takes the footy over the line. Big Lecker Halasima for the Warriors' second try. 10-0, kick to come. We've played now 8.5 minutes in this first half.
Oh, that was on the back of penalty and a 6 again, and this is what the Warriors do. They have got a perfect record against sides that are out of the 8. 9-9 it is. So what they do is they don't lose the ball, and if the sides are up to it, they're going to grind you into the dirt. Tanner Boyd's doing a good job. Got the ball again on the outside to Harris Tavita, and he just was too strong for Jaden Campbell. He was like a water skier. He was going behind barefoot, and Lecco he's 19. Just imagine when he grows up how powerful he's going to be.
2 tries in 8 minutes, Jana. It could get ugly quickly for the Gold Coast Titans.
Yeah, it could. That was just a really strong run there by Leka Halasima. We've seen that right edge is in trouble there of the Titans.
90 points to 4 game. They lost Vegas. Gold Coast Titans just yet, but it's not a great sign early on for Des Hasler in his 500th first grade game as coach. Lecker the Wrecker, says one sign there in the crowd. So 10 minutes played, already 2 tries on the board here for the home side through Pompey and Halasima. Tanner Boyd is 1 from 1. There's a similar angle here, 45 degrees, 20 metres out as he comes in, and this cannon's off the left hand upright. And Lass will be 1 from 2, and it's the Warriors 10, the Gold Coast Titans 0. Round the grounds in the New South Wales Cup first half, Manly Warringah 6, lead Penrith 5. Still a few things to come, like the Queensland Cup getting underway. North Devils will win at Manly Seagulls. There's a full sort of slate of games coming up there. Women's rugby, the game was put on hold due to bad weather in Brisbane, the Wallaroos and Wales. It's still 7 points all there in the first half. Speaking of Gold Coast, AFL third quarter at Carrara, the Suns at 94 lead their crosstown rivals, or sort of intrastate rivals, the Brisbane Lions, 37. Seeing some good phone shots here, which aren't that good to me, much good to me as far as point the game's concerned. Morton Hazel-Lediak will play it. 20 out from that southern line. Open side left here again now for Nia Corey, his 150th first grade appearance. 11 going first half. Warriors 10, Gold Coast nil the scoreline. A flat ball from dummy half as Egan finds Clark. Offloads back to his day. is eventually gathered 40 metres out centre field now for the Warriors on play 3. Dummy half Harris to Vida. Back to Aaron Clark. Strong run, gains a dozen. He's up to halfway here. Midway to the set now for the Warriors. Egan spots up James Fisher Harris to his left, and he's making a good gain here. He's about 35 out from that northern line. Last play Warriors. Tanner Boyd's a kick into the set, goes high down towards that northeastern corner, leaping up down there off the wings and controlling it. Out there is Philip Sami, and he'll play it 12 out from his own line at northern end. Trying to just jink his way past a couple of Warriors there. Brian Kelly will play it now for Kieran Foran, 20 out from his own line. So a fast start to this set for the Gold Coast Titans. No real gain there for Sami either. So he'll play it 20 in from the eastern side, 30 out from his own line at northern end. Play forward now for the Titans, and now Cleese Haas hit the deck. He did steamroll Wade Egan, who's getting up very slowly in back play. They come to break here right-hand side. Campbell receives a Dollar offload, needs some support, goes wide here to Jojo Fafita, who goes the rest of the way and scores the try. So a good break from Jolliffe, who linked up with Campbell, and Jojo Fafita benefits, and the Titans in back tic-tac. So it's 10-4, kick to come Gold Coast after 12 minutes in Auckland, John Gibbs.
Well, that was much better play there. They were able to defuse the bomb, and they came up with a couple of good runs. Wade Egan was left in the ground. I hope he's going to be all right. Jonas got through. He found Jaden Campbell backing up. He's fine at backing up, and he was instrumental. He scored. How many points did he score, Brett, in that 6-6 win last year? He scored a mountain of them. Jaden Campbell, beautiful work. Looked on the outside. Had Jojo Fafita, who'd led him one earlier, and he's got one back. He was chased, but too fast. Good comeback. Good hit back there by the Gold Coast.
He kicked 11 of 11 in that game this time last year at Robina. That record Gold Coast win 66-6.
Score a try as well, I think.
Yes, he did. So what's that give you? 11, 22 plus 26.
That's a big haul.
She came to a peak. He scored 24 points in the New South Wales Cup for rout of South Sydney earlier. Kiana, a very impressive try for the Gold Coast Titans.
Yeah, it was a bad miss there by Adam Pompey and Chanel Harris to beat up. So good to see the Titans get on the board, so we're not having a repeat of that last game.
Quick kick taken by Campbell, and despite the angle, he makes good of that. So it's
12 out of
6 in his last 12 kicks against the Warriors. Correct. So 10-6 is the scoreline early on. So it's a try fest in the first 13 minutes at Mount Smart Stadium. You're with Brett Sprigg, John Gibbs, Count Takarangi here for the first of our 3 games. Penrith West Tigers coming up for the 5:30 game at Western City Stadium, and we'll finish the day in Gosford for South and Cronulla.
And Wade Egan's going to leave the field. He's going to undergo a head injury assessment. He got his head in the wrong place. He was run over by Cleese Haas, and that's what started that roll there forward for the Gold Coast to come up with that try.
So a try to Jojo Fafita, the successful Jaden Campbell conversion. A big break again here. Big tackle bust from Jaden Jolliffe, who's eventually claimed 20 out, 20 in from the eastern side. We're seeing Egan go down to the sheds now, so that's concerning for the Warriors. Police patrol the first 10 minutes of the game.
He's had a few too, head injuries.
Yeah, not for a little while though. He's had better durability the last couple of years, Wade Egan. Let's come back here to Brimson. Little step here into the defence where Fisher Harris and Clark stop him. He's on the halfway here, 20 in from the eastern side. Here's Mo Fodawaker. Played all 3 Origin games for Queensland this year. It's going to be a set restart now for the ruck infringement for the Gold Coast Titans. Fodawaker wants to play it 40 out from Warriors line, but was called back here by referee Jared Sutton. Warriors 10, Gold Coast 6, the scoreline, 14 gone first half. Campbell back on the inside now to Jacob Alec-Winky, who played in the Gold Coast most recently. Maybe he's their good luck charm. Plays it now, 30 out to the field. It's come back again here. Plays half to the outside, Bo Fermor, 20 out, 20 in from the eastern side. This is only play 3 now for Gold Coast. Brimson dummy half, swings it back here to Cleese Haas, and he straightens his run into that wall of Warriors defenders there. Jackson Ford in there, so too Marty Martin, who's on the field for Wade Egan. It's going to be 6 more here, 10 metres out. Campbell wants to break through himself here. He's wrapped up by Harris, Sabita and Halasima. Now dummy half Randall, across to Fodawaker. Gold Coast, 8 metres out from the Warriors line, south end of Mount Smart Stadium. 10-6 the Warriors lead, 15 gone first half. Randall on play 3. To the left-hand side for Foran. Spread the defence here with a pass at Brimson over the top. He can link up with Philip Sami. Right. Back to that try for the Titans. And it's 10 all. Kick to come for Desi's men. We've played now 16 minutes. I get 15 in this first half on ABC's scorecard.
Yeah, that was just really good footy there by the Titans. The Warriors made it hard. They gave away 2 6-tackle sets there, and the Titans just capitalised that. You see Cabrel shot at the line from that right centre, and they've just gone straight up the top.
Bill Sami scored a try the first half against the Tigers last week. He's on the board here again.
Yeah, no, that was really good work. They set it up well, but on that occasion, Kurt Capel, he'd been steamrolled a little earlier. He hurt his arm or his shoulder, so he's not good either. We've lost Wade Egan. All of a sudden, this game has been turned on its head. It looked like the Warriors by how many, and now the Gold Coast have come up with a couple of beautifully executed tries on both flanks, one to JJ Tafita, and then on the other side to Philip Sami. Good work on the inside though by Brimson and Kieran Four, and a beautiful over the top pass from Brimson created the opportunity for DWZ to come in and try and close it down. He couldn't do so, and then it was going to be academic.
Jaden Campbell is 23 metres out, making 4 metre in from the eastern touchline. 1 from 1 so far tonight. This for an early Gold Coast lead on its way. Misses left-hand side. We are locked up at 10 points all. Warriors and Titans here on ABC Sport. Text line 0467 920 222. Eon, thank you for your text as always. Up the Waz. Listening to a great call from Louis and Marco and Aladella. Love Aladella, fantastic part of the world. Afternoon, ladies and gents, it's good to see the Titans halves playing well. None of them are still with the Titans. It's Cliff England and it's New South Wales. Well, maybe spoke too soon there. The Titans have got their way back in the game here. We will see Tanner Boyd kick off, the former Gold Coast Titans halfback. Rog, cheers for the awesome call. Listening here right in the dangerous border of Thailand and Cambodia. I don't get the constant comments talking about some video. Good to hear from you, Rog. 0467 920 222. Titans back on the attack. 10 points all the scoreline. Off to Brian Kelly. Up that left edge he goes. Tackle is made in there by Catewell and Tanner Boyd this time as they press towards halfway for the services of Bo Fumal. He's back 20 in from the eastern side. 5 short of halfway as Jolliffe, his first receiver, goes charging into Fisher Harris. Play Gold Coast 40 out from the Warriors line at southern end. Hurried kick from Kieran Four, and up it goes. Sets a task for Nickel Klukstar. Brings it down, 10 out from his own line. Tackled now by Campbell, Fodawega, and also in there was Cleese Haas. 17 gone, 23 left in this first half at Mount Smart Stadium. It's the Warriors 10, the Gold Coast Titans 10, and possession has now swung back right in the Gold Coast Titans' way, which makes sense for me given they had none of the footy in the first sort of 8 minutes or so with those 2 Warriors tries. They fought their way back to Titans.
The handling from both sides has been pretty good, but all of a sudden it's palpable. The Gold Coast Titans got pep in their step. They were sort of had their heads down. Now they're really fired up.
End of the set, Tanner Boyd's kick goes deep down towards that 30-metre line where it's taken by AJ Brimson. Scored a try last week. Scored a try, 2 tries in fact, last time these sides met at Mount Smart Stadium, which the Titans won on Anzac Day last year, a tight game, 27-24. It's with one of their try scorers so far, Sami. Plays it on halfway. Jalen de Groot hits and spins there off Halasima. He'll play it 5 inside Warriors territory. It's going to be 6 more here for the ruck infringement. So, good discipline from the Warriors defence as Fodawaka has it with the first of those 6 carries. 30 out centre field. Played now to Maloney. And he's gone back to find Jolliffe. 3 Warriors cost him 20 out centre field. Maloney get to play in the win. It's his 3rd first grade game, and he grew up in Auckland, in New Zealand, and he's both 10 metres out now from that Warriors line. Play 4. Maloney open side right here for it. Needs options. Show and go. Darts back on the inside. Offloads back now to Isaac Farsouma. Cleese Haas. Now with Jaden Campbell. He tries to just swoop his way past the tackle of Halasima. He'll play it here for the Titans. 8 metres out, right hand side of the uprights. Maloney open side left on the second last play. Please Haas, the forehand, kicks off the outside of the boot. They're chasing it through here. What knows a Lesniak star to guide it. And a fancy nickel Luke star knocked it dead just to make sure of it. And it will be a line drop out for the Gold Coast Titans. Repeat set coming up for the line drop out Warriors. Repeat set coming up for the Gold Coast Titans. 10 points all is our scoreline, John Gibbs, roughly at the halfway mark of this first half.
It was one of those where Nickel Kluxa and Dallin Watney's Legnac were going for it, but the ball was sort of suspended, so it could have been one of those where Superman flew through the air and knocked it back into the field of play, so they decided that they'd be careful.
Short tenor boy drop out here as it's play on here for the Gold Coast Titans. It's now been lost by Please Haas into the path of Jackson Ford, and the Warriors are away 20 out from their own line, so they withstand a dicey situation there as the Gold Coast look to continue their scoring momentum. 10 points all so far, 2 tries all as we approach the 20-minute mark of this first half on ABC Sport. You're with Brett Sprigg, John Gibbs, Count Rungy here on ABC Sport. Here's Nickel Klugstar, 40 outs in the field now for the Warriors, play 2. Dummy half, it's come wide here. Back again to James Fisher-Harris, standing the Alec Winky tackle on halfway. Played now to Timothy Martin, off to Boyd, and now near Corey, and he's brought to the deck, 40 out from that Titans line all in. This is second last play here for the Waz, and now Aaron Clark goes nowhere in the Kieran Foran tackle. Last play Warriors, Martin dummy half, Egan still off the ground here for the Warriors. Boyd's kick in the air, brought down here again by Philip Sami, and he'll be playing it 10 out from his own line at Northern End. The new set will start there for the Gold Coast Titans.
It was a better set there by the Warriors. I think the Titans need to try and find some more points on this set and take the win for the first time.
Yeah, well, it's a lot between drinks for the Gold Coast Titans. Just the 4 wins this year. Calvin de Groot, 20 out from his own line, and now they keep coming right-hand side of the field. Tackled and playing it now is Jojo Fafita, who scored their first try after the early 4-pointers to Adam Pompey and Leka Halasima for the home side. Now with Regan Campbell-Gillard, played now to Maloney, fires it right, last play, and as Campbell does kick downfield, 10 metres out from his own line, taken by Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, and he's in the 2-man tackle there as Cleese Haas and Jacob Alec Winky there to greet him 30 out from that southern line. For a slingshot Nickel Klugstar forward here, Maloney grabs him, plays to Harris to Vita, Alan Watney's a Lesniak, angles his run toward the eastern touchline, but he's stopped there. This is play 3, make it 4 now for the Warriors as Jackson Ford backs his way into Cleese Haas, and now he's held 40 out from that northern line. Centre field, dummy half to Marty Martin to Clark, and now again here it's fed wide to Halasima, and make a bit of a post-contact game there in the Campbell tackle. Play at 25 out, Martin off to Boyd. Last play, Warriors 10, Gold Coast 10. The ball will land on the chest of Philip Sami. 5 out from that northern line. Gold Coast back on the attack. John Gibbs, 22 gone, 18 left in this first half. Warriors 10, Gold Coast 10.
Well, they're not contesting those bombs. They've got to sort of put the Gold Coast under pressure. Jada, the group's been able to defuse them quite comfortably. What is unsettling the Warriors is the quick play of the ball from the Titans. Because they're playing the ball so quickly, they're getting 6 agains, and the Warriors are looking a little rattled, albeit 10 all.
Around the grounds, NRLW, first half underway. Roosters 6, Bulldogs 0. Jasmine Strange try. Jocelyn Kelleher conversion there. We'll keep an eye on that and all the scores going on here. We're at Mount Smart for the action live as Maloney from dummy half links up with Crimson. He runs headlong into the wall, which features near Corey, and also in there Timani Martin, just just shy of halfway the Titans. Last play, kick through Campbell. High spiralling ball onto the chest there of Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. Remember the high ball in this game so far, which of course you'd expect. He plays wing for the Warriors. He's played a lot of fullback in the past. What Nasal Lesniak here, Tanner Boyd. Open space on the eastern side now. He's got Catewell running by. Catewell was stopped on a desperate attempt there from Philip Sami. Catewell still going though, so he's charging into that Gold Coast Titans half. He'll play at 30 out now. This is play 3 now for the Warriors. It's 10 points all. Warriors Titans here on ABC Sport. Back on the inside now to Richie Painonga. Offloads back to Martin. 20 out now. Almost lost by Nickel Klugstar, but he recovers the football and he's wrapped up by Fermor. 20 out, 20 in, Eastern touch. This is play 4 now as Boyd. Left hand side, Harris to Vita. It's been dropped by Leka Halasima. It was straight down. And a course, that's good enough to constitute a knock-on, and it will be a Gold Coast Titans scrum feed 20 out from that northern line.
Now, Capel had had pure pace there, he would have been away, but he wasn't. Philip Sami was able to get him, just sort of nab him, and he would have been away. But that...
And tackled there is Brian Kelly. He's only playing Queensland Cup sort of recently. He's just played 15 games this year, so 15 of the 17 first grade games, or now 18. Kurt Capel's been cut open as well, so
looks like a warrior.
I don't know if the refs, yes, I don't know if the refs quite seen that yet, but he's still on the park as far as I can tell. Played there by Jolliffe, 40 outs in the field now for the Titans. On play 4, it's come back to Cleese Haas, and he's ripped the turf by Halasima and also by Melnger. A couple of those rising stars for the Warriors. Dummy half, that pass went forward from Maloney to Kieran Foran. As a result, we'll come back here for a Warriors ball, Kiana.
Well, the Warriors needed that after that little error from Lekar Halasima, so it puts them in good field position to have a crack and see if they can find some more points.
Just forward that one. Now we're waiting to see whether or not Wade Egan comes onto the field. He did go back to the bench, so that's a good sign, but whether or not he's okay remains to be seen. By the way, in that New South Wales Cup game today, I'll tell you another player to start, Jet Cleary.
Yes, okay. Been taped up, by the way, so we can see that. He's still at the front with him on that right-hand side of the field as they move it quickly left-hand side of the park with Tuivasa Sheck. Warriors 10, Gold Coast 10, the scoreline at Mount Smart Stadium so far. 14 left in the first half with Brett Sporey, John Gibbs. Can't take a rungy here on ABC Sport. Played there 30 out from that northern line. And again, here's Dimitri Vaimelga, one of their 3 try scorers against Newcastle last week. Played 20 outs in the field. Timani Martin, wait there, he was accosted by Jolliffe, so it's 6 more now for the Warriors. A full set, 15 out from that Gold Coast Titans line. It's a seesawing affair so far, and scores level 10 apiece. Martin dummy half to Boyd. Dummy's the inside ball, goes to Harris, 2 minutes it wide now to Tuivasa Sheck, slips over in that northwestern corner, and the group pounces on him, so too Campbell. He'll play it, 5 out from that northern line. Early in the set though for the Warriors, Boyd shifts it across the right-hand side for Jackson Ford, and he's claimed 7 metres out, left-hand side of the uprights. Tamati Martin to the right-hand side now. So Boyd again, he's everywhere at the moment, Tanner Boyd. Off to Capewell, the new head tape. He's pressing inside that 10-metre line, wrapped up by Foran, so too Kelly. Plays in that northeastern corner of Mount Smart Stadium. Second last play, Boyd back to Ford, and no options here, so he is put down on a 3-man tackle. Last play, 5 outs in the field. Martin off to Clark, and now by Melnger. Campbell and co, and the Titans will go back on the attack here. 10 points all Warriors and Gold Coast on ABC Sport. 27 gone, 13 left first half.
Jacob Alec Winky came up with 2 good tackles. That one on Vaimunga and earlier on Roger Tuivasa Sheck. A very important tackle. So he's moved out there on that right side to sort of combat the left-hand attack of the Warriors.
Titans on the attack through Philip Sami. Dummy half Maloney finds Fermor. Claimed 20 out, 20 in from the eastern side. He's now lost the ball. It's going to be a penalty here going Gold Coast way. Ruling that Tanner Boyd was the one infringing. So that is going to be a Gold Coast penalty, and so far by my count that would be a penalty apiece. In fact it is, yeah.
Front foot here, Lexa.
They ruled that he interfered with both Fermor as he was playing at their Tanner Boyd, so they find touch on the eastern side and Gold Coast will roll on here 5 short of halfway, 10 points on the scoreline. Open side right they come, Cleese Haas. The angle run here into Timani Martin. He has a Gold Coast next as well. Timani Martin, went to Keebra. A lot of great footy players did. High school, the Rugby League program. Foran, the left-hand side. Set restart here as Brian Kelly's tackled. 30 out, 20 in from the eastern side. Maloney sets up the dummy half. He's already played 2 here. Kieran Foran. Inside down to Regan Campbell-Gillard. Tackled from behind by Halasima and also Martin. Centre field 25 out. Foran goes again. Captaining the Gold Coast today. On to Campbell, who's set upon immediately by Chanel Harris-Tavita, and Campbell is slow getting up. Crushed a city copper crusher there from Jackson Ford or Harris-Tavita. I think Chanel might be a guilty party here, but it didn't look like much for the naked eye. Enough that he was sort of clutching the back of his head. And Jackson Ford comes down. So it's replays showing Harris Peter, but it was actually the contact of Jackson Ford there, which crushes Jaden Campbell, and he's the first player on reporting this game.
Technically, that's a crush until he was grabbing at his neck. There was not going to be a penalty, and he's okay.
So 10 points all. What do they do? Open side right now to Campbell. End of the set. His kick goes high in the air. Which Warrior calls for it? Nickel Klugstar did well. Furmore came to hit the deck hard in that aerial contest. Yeah, he's come down very hard as the back row. Still riding in back play as the Warriors wheel on here. We're also to field two of us as Chef. And there will be now a delay. We'll have time off here on tackle 2. Will be now a delay. We'll have time off here on tackle 2 for the Warriors as both Furmore gets assessed on the field. Oh, he comes down on his head.
Yep, he didn't hurt his neck, Brett.
And if Wade Egan's failed his HIA, I think we can tell from almost just from that there might be something similar coming here for both Furmore.
Yes.
He'll be assessed.
He will. You don't see that too often. Usually kind of brace. It's something other than your head, but that one looked nasty.
Because he didn't actually have any, there was no impact to his upper body or head in that contest. It was sort of like his hip sort of came off Nickel Klugstar. Then as he went below horizontal as he came down and then came very hard on his head.
Just bad balance in the end because, not by him, but he got put in a dangerous position by himself competing for the ball, but he'll be assessed.
He remains out there, so he's still there for now, both Furmore.
Well,
Give it a minute.
If they have a look at that, we're here. We're not doctors, and we know get him off.
Malga here with barnstorming went up over the halfway here for the Warriors. This will be last play. Martin, a dummy half 40 out to the right-hand side, and Tanner Boyd kicks it high in the air. Taken on that outer wing there by Philip Sami, and the Titans will start a new set. 8 metres out from Mount Northern line at Mount Smart Stadium. They lead the game 12-10 in Des Hasler's 500th first grade appearance as coach. Off it comes back here from Kelly to his captain Kieran Foran, and he's tackled 10 metres out from that northern line. As dummy half Brimson onto the right-hand side. No real gain here now for the Titans as Jojo Fafita is tackled. Maloney off to the right-hand side. Brought down by Palasima brings down the ball carrier there, and Jacob Alakwinki play there for the Gold Coast Titans. Up over the 40 here they go off a little pinballing run from AJ Brimson, who'll play it 8 metres short of halfway. 7 left, first half on ABC Sport. Gold Coast Titans 12, New Zealand Warriors 10. Last play kick high in the air, 20 out from their own line here. The Warriors back on the attack through two of us. second. He's been their man on the high ball. And now...
Sorry, mate, I can't do anything about it. Independent doctors come in.
Thank you, Jared Sutton. Off you go.
Medicare, I'll charge you. I'll bill you. I mean, fair dinkum, that is ludicrous.
It took one replay to see how heavy that
But he was stunned. He was left on the ground, stunned. So he didn't get up. And then when you saw the replay, so I don't know what they're doing, but that was ridiculous because sometimes you think, oh, it's a bit soft or whatever. But he went from a great height and crashed into the turf head first and was stunned on the ground.
Keep an eye on the Beau Fermor HIA then Gibbsy. You're our de facto sideline here in the boardroom as we watch on at Mount Smart Stadium. Titans 12, Warriors 10. 6.5 left in the first half. Nickel Klukestar hits the ball at pace and gains 10 more metres inside Gold Coast territory. Played it to Marty Martin. Open side left here. This time the tennis star was Smith. Debut early this year against the Dolphins. This will be last play Warriors. Martin here to Harris Tavita. His last play kick off his preferred left side. Arrives at the 10-metre line. Jalen de Groot leaps up for it for the Gold Coast Titans. Brings it down. He'll play it there. Gold Coast back on the attack. Kiana, they lead 12-10.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by the Warriors back three. I think they've done a real diffusing all of the kicks from Jaden Campbell, but that was a really good take there by de Groot. So good start to the set for the Titans.
Philip Sami receives it and carries it here a good 12 metres before he's tackled by tennis star Smith and Dimitri Vaimalma. This is tackle 4 here for the Gold Coast Titans, and this is for Waker, who's tackled, playing it now, short of the halfway. Brimson directs traffic, left-hand side Foran. Little half break from Brian Kelly. Offloads back to Kieran Foran. Back here to Philip Sami. Darts infield on Tanner Stowers Smith, and Marty Martin wraps up AJ Brimson, and he'll play at 35 out, 20 in from the eastern side. Last play Gold Coast, 12-10 their lead in Auckland. So here's the upset brewing. Last play kick from Campbell. Down to Roger Tuivasa Sheck. Off to Nickel Klukestar. He's got a good break here. Over the 20, and he's brought down by Jaden Campbell. So a good chase and tackle there from the Gold Coast halfback. Warriors will roll on here, 30 out from their own line. But they trail 12-10, 4.5 left in this first half on ABC Sport. And it's been lost by Roger Tuivasa Sheck. An uncharacteristic error, which might sum up the last sort of 15 minutes or so for the Warriors, who trailed 12-10.
Well, the two last drop balls from them were Leka Halasima and Roger Tuivasa Sheck. Tuivasa Sheck had linked really well with Sean Nickel Klukestar, but that one went straight from Harris to Vita. He had a bit of a look where he was going to run. In front of him was big Jamin Jolliffe, and he just had a both feet and lost the ball. It was as simple as you like. You cannot afford to do that. The offloads from the Gold Coast also worrying the Warriors.
Yeah, definitely. The Warriors just need to hold on to the ball. I feel like they're their own worst enemy at the moment.
Can't take a ruggy alongside John Gibbs. I'm Brett Sprigg here on ABC Sport. 40 out the scrum feet, 20 in from the western side as they come to that left-hand open paddock here, the Gold Coast Titans. Potter Waker claimed their centre field, 35 out. Dummy half Maloney to Campbell Gillard. Flat ball there to that left edge for Cleeks Haas. They'll play at 30 out for the Warriors line. Can they find some more points in the Gold Coast before half-time? Back to the right-hand side now. Campbell! Coming off the line, Halasima nailed the Gold Coast halfback. This will be play 4 coming up here. 30 out, 20 in from the western side as Jamin Jolliffe also takes some heavy fire there for his opposite number of Jackson Ford. 20 out centre field. Biggie kick from Kieran Foran. Fielded though by Tanner Boyd. And that little challenge there from the Gold Coast is thwarted by their former halfback. Warriors will go on the attack here. 10 out from their own line at the southern end. It's the Titans 12, the Warriors 10. With 3 minutes left in this first half, and now finally going the Warriors' way.
They're trying to bring the crowd back in. They're trying to do things a little bit quicker. That was a very fortunate catch by Tanner Boyd because they were looked really dangerous. They're all over the Warriors.
Penalty count 2 all, by the way, and set restart to a total of 4-3 Gold Coast way.
What did you say the penalties were?
2 all now.
Okay, so that's 4 and 9 restarts. That's 13 stoppages.
Yeah. 2.5 left in the opening 40. Gold Coast lead the Warriors at Mount Smart. 12-10. They've won 5 of their past 6 against it, including on Anzac Day last year at this venue. And their best ever record win at Rabina Yeah, so there's something there about the Gold Coast and the Warriors up against the top four side. Jackson 40 to the deck hard, 40 out, 20 in from the western side. Play 4 now for the Warriors. Tanner Boyd feeds it back here to near Corey. And 3 Gold Coast Titans wrap him up. 30 outs in the field now. Mark on second last comes off to Tennis Tower Smith. And now to Boyd, to Harris to Vita. On here again up left edge. It's a good run. And eventually stopped there in the tackle of Jojo Fafita. Was Adam Pompey. He was the first try scorer in the game. It comes from Chanel. Back to Halasima at the left-hand side. It was forward to Tuivasa Sheck, who goes flying through the air. And it was a nice sort of would-be try saved by AJ Brimson anyway, but the pass was forward. You can hear the call from Jared Sutton. And so it will be Gold Coast ball. 90 seconds left in the first half, Gibbsy. It's Gold Coast who still lead at Mount Smart, 12 points to 10.
And that wasn't forward. That was a just beautiful pass. You know, the irony there is he was going to be tackled anyway, so it would have been a 7-tackle reset. So now they only get 1.
No tackles.
So, and 10 metres out from their own line. So it was a bonus really for the Warriors.
And we'll see what they can do here, the Gold Coast Titans. Brian Kelly on the advance. It's out of the red zone, plays at 25 from his own line. Fodawaker carrying the footy. Big fend there on right near Corey. And playing it now with 55 seconds left in the half. Sami brought to the deck by Martin and also near Corey. Play 40 out now. Tackle 4. Campbell Gillard off to Jolliffe with the break again. And Campbell's on the end of it now. He can dig away from Nickel Fluke Star, but he's wrapped up by Timothy Martin. Offloads here to Messi ball. Back now for Jojo Fafita, who's tackled 20 out. 30 seconds left in the half. There's still time for one more now for the Titans. Couple of plays left in the set. Foreign inside the 20. Pass left now, Brimson. Inside ball. Back now to Kelly. Straightening the run here. 11 outs in the field. 15 seconds left. Last play, Gold Coast who lead 12-10 as we are just seconds away from half time. Easy, no rush to play it, Brian Kelly. Maloney to the right-hand side. Forward again. Comes to the right. Little kick from Campbell in the cross. Footed by Tuivasa Sheck. And that will be all she wrote through an enthralling first half in Auckland, in which, well, they're
growing reports of mass starvation. Israel's been restricting the movement of food, water, and medical supplies into the territory, claiming Hamas militants have been hijacking the aid. Dr. Tanemin Din has been working for the medical charity MSF and says airdrops will do little to help Palestinians.
It's not enough. The aid blockade needs to be unequivocally lifted, and access to this aid needs to be unimpeded. A few airdrops is not going to make a tangible difference. What we had feared months ago, we're finally starting to see that people are literally just dying because they don't have enough food.
A Mexican judge overseeing the case of two murdered Australian surfers has granted a defence request for a delay to allow more time to discuss a potential plea deal. Here's North America correspondent Carrington Clark.
Today was supposed to be an evidentiary hearing for those charged with the murder of Australian brothers Callum and Jake Robinson. Instead, the defence lawyers asked for another delay in proceedings to allow them time to explore the possibility of a plea deal. While Judge Oscar Padilla granted the request, he warned all the lawyers that he wouldn't accept further delays and threatened them with a fine if they didn't come prepared to the next hearing, now scheduled for November the 13th. None of the three men accused of the murders has entered a plea so far. Carrington Clark, ABC News.
The Spanish Civil Guard has led evacuation efforts as wildfires burn in the Toledo region southwest of the capital, Madrid. Dozens of people have fled their homes as flames threaten residential areas and engulf large swaths of forest. The WA Liberal Party's State Council has passed a motion to push the federal coalition to abandon the target of net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050. The council held a closed-door meeting in coalition frontbencher Andrew Hastie's electorate of Canning. It's understood the motion passed with overwhelming support. It comes after the South Australian Liberal State Council passed a similar motion in May. South Australia's Primary Industries Minister Claire Scriven says a hay convoy bound for the state's drought-stricken farmers is one of the largest ever seen in the state. 85 trucks loaded with more than 6,000 bales of hay and straw have been sent from WA to support about 400 farmers in South Australia. Ms. Scriven says it's a project between farmers across borders and need for feed with SA government support.
This particular run is one of the biggest we've seen to South Australia, and it brings the number of farmers that have been helped since the beginning of the year through the donated fodder transport scheme to almost 2,000 farmers.
A woman's been charged after allegedly stabbing a colleague at a Sydney hotel. Police say a 30-year-old woman was found with multiple stab wounds at the Macquarie Street Hotel in the early hours of this morning. A 27-year-old woman also suffered minor injuries when she attempted to intervene. Officers have arrested a 31-year-old woman at the scene, and she's been charged with grievous bodily harm with intent to murder. She'll face court tomorrow. Hidden cameras have captured the first glimpse of a rare snow leopard cub born at the Chester Zoo in Britain, the first of its kind born at a zoo in nearly a century. Video footage released by the zoo shows the cub taking its first steps as its mother keeps a close eye. And in rugby union, Australia is looking to send the series against British and Irish Lions to a decider with a victory game in Game 2 in Melbourne this evening. The Tourists claimed the first game 27-19 in Brisbane last Saturday. You're up to date with ABC News. Get more news at any time. Download the ABC Listen app.
Rugby Union's greatest tour is here. ABC Sport has all the live action of every British and Irish Lions game in Australia. Look for the Sports Extra button on the ABC Listen app.
ABC Sports coverage of the 2025 NRL Premiership.
These 4 metres out centre field here for the Warriors. Egan comes left here to Boyd. Catcher release down to his half partner. Harris comes back on the inside, and now going over to score, Adam Pompey. Just steamrolled the defence, got past Campbell, got past Brimson. Adam Pompey scores in back-to-back games, and it's the Warriors who are in first. 13 metres out now for the Warriors. Boyd off to Harris Tavita. On to Halasima, who drags Jaden Campbell with him and takes the footy over the line. Big Lecker Halasima for the Warriors' second try. They come to break here right-hand side. Campbell receives the Jolliffe offload, needs some support, goes wide here to Jojo Fafita, who goes the rest of the way and scores the try. So a good break from Jolliffe, who linked up with Campbell, and Jojo Fafita and the Titans in fact hit back. Randall on play 3. To the left-hand side for Foran. For the defence here with a pass to Brimson over the top. He can link up with Philip Sami, who goes diving over to score the try. Back to that try to the Titans. On to Campbell, who's set upon immediately by Chanel Harris-Tavita, and Campbell is slow getting up. Crushed up, any kind of crusher there from Jackson Ford or Harris-Tavita. Penalty goal attempt here for Jaden Campbell, 1 from 2 tonight, almost directly in front, and flags it up at the southern end of Mount Smart Stadium. The Gold Coast Titans take the lead. The upset's on Gibbsy and Kiana, 12-10 the Gold Coast lead here.
The 2025 NRL Premiership.
On your radio, ABC Sport Digital Radio.
And on the ABC Listen app.
As you heard there, Gold Coast 12, New Zealand Warriors 10, half-time in Auckland. Massive Saturday footy on ABC Sport. Later on, South and Cronulla in Gosford. But next up, it'll be Penrith and West Tigers at Western Sydney Stadium in the 5:30 game. We're getting closer to kick-off. Andrew Moore, hello once again to you.
Hello, Spriggy. Yeah, beautiful Winter's Day here at Western Sydney Stadium. Some great tries already in the New South Wales Cup. Early second half, Manly 22, leading Penrith 18. No team news yet for Penrith or West Tigers, although, interestingly, Liam Martin, who's been out since that wrist injury in Origin 3, he is still on the extended bench. So we'll see how that pans out in the next half hour or so. Referee will be Peter Goff with Chris Butler in the bunker. Luke Lewis, welcome back to you as Penrith chase a 6th straight win. Well, in fact, a 7th straight win. They've won 6 in a row. One of those was against the West Tigers, a tough, grafting, grinding sort of game in round 14. Are we going to get a similar game here today?
No, I think Penrith will be too good for them today. I really like the way that Penrith are doing. They're going for 7 straight. They're really starting to find their mojo in their attack. They've got a really good side. Obviously, Tungwall's back, which is great. Isaiah Yo's back. I do believe Billy Martin will come back in. Why name him 19th if he's not going to play? So I think he might come back into the side. Yeah, they're building nicely, Penrith. I reckon they're going to. They'll get the win today. They'll be hard to beat, and I think they'll win comfortably.
But the West Tigers, Michael Carianis, have shown some signs in recent weeks with a win over and also 1-point win over the Gold Coast that you were at Leichhardt last week.
Yeah, pretty low game last week though. Andrew, they beat a Gold Coast side very late, but the inclusion of Taylor May was exceptional for him. He was the difference in that side. I really like Adam Dewey at 13 as well. I think that's probably his position long term, so he gets another opportunity there. So there's been a couple of moments for the West Tigers, but not enough to satisfy me that they'll go close to this Penrith side.
Connor Watson, the Panthers. I mean, you and your Roosters have played some really big games against them in the last few years on their run of 5 straight grand finals, 4 straight premierships. How concerned is the rest of the comp about this winning streak that they're on now?
Yeah, I mean, you sort of thought, at the start of the year they were sort of really struggling, but you knew what, they're a champion side and what they're capable of. And
8 rounds in, they will last.
Yeah, I know. And like I spoke about earlier, in our situation.
And they will last.
Yeah, I know. And like I spoke about earlier, in our situation. Probably just how close the comp is this year, that you can just string a couple games together and it can just change your season. It can really turn your season around. But I hope for our sake that the Tigers win today. It looks like Liam's playing as well. He was out there sort of with the boys kicking the ball around as well, and I think Eisen, who's playing New South Wales Cup there, so I'd say
good indication.
Pardo will come in. But adding a guy like that, we all know what he's capable of, the energy that he brings to a team and the intensity. So but yeah, like MC said as well, it was good, just Taylor's performance last week, both the May brothers probably got a bit of a point to prove today, I reckon, coming up there against their old side, those boys. So there's a lot of ex-Penrith players in this Tigers team as well, so they probably want to get the wood over them.
How chuffed are you and Louis at the moment that you both tipped the Gold Coast?
Yeah, well, watching the first 10 minutes, I thought that the Warriors were going to smoke them, to be honest. But the Titans showed some pretty good resolve to fight back to be up 12-10, so we'll see 40 more minutes to see if me and Louis are geniuses or not.
Never in doubt.
Yeah. I don't think 40 minutes will determine that, especially with my learned colleague, Mr. Lewis. All right, boys, we'll be back at 5 o'clock for the Between Game show. Let's go back to the boardroom. the second half, Brett Sprigg.
Thank you, Andrew, and yes, thank you, Connor and Louis and MC. It's going to be, fascinating to see if the Titans can hang on here. John Gibbs can't take a rungy as far as seeing out this remaining 40 minutes. It's by no means a queue in the rack type lead. How did the Warriors respond in the second half?
Well, they were down 12-6 at half time against Newcastle and got out of jail, so they're going to need to really control things well here.
And they'll have 20,000+ willing New Zealanders there cheering them on here as the kick-off for the second half is underway. Fielded by Watanabe Lesniak. It was an awkward one. Sort of bounced over to him. Plays it there for Tanner Boyd. And I think I did see Bo Fermor out there as Campbell Gillard makes the tackle. But the Warriors are on the attack first up here. Jackson Ford, 30-metre line, played down to Marty Martin. Off to that left-hand side. Campbell low in the tackle up top Molney, and also in there Jojo Fafita. Second last play Warriors as Fermor is out there. So he passes HIA. Didn't appear likely at the outset, but he passes HIA. They're still without Randall, and the Warriors without Egan as far as previous head knocks. Last play kick, Tanner Boyd high in the air, goes down on the 3-metre line, taken by AJ Brimson, and he's tackled there by Maidani Kore, who'll play it 30 out, 20 in from the western side. On the attack they go here, the Gold Coast side. 12-10 their lead in Des Hasler's 500th game as an NRL coach.
Go two, thanks Dimitri.
Play 40 out here from that southern line, and again this time it's De Groot in the action. Plays it there to Molney. Directs the right-hand side of the field, Jolliffe. Over halfway where he's claimed by Jackson Ford, and they'll play it again to Molney quite quickly. Campbell Gillard angles his run there into Tanner Stowers Smith, and also by Melnger, and it'll be second last now for the Gold Coast. That's last play. Molney 40 out now. Comes to Campbell with the right pink boots. He kicks downfield, and again put it by Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, and he just darts back into the line there where Jolliffe and Campbell meet him. Mentioned there for the Warriors. 8 minutes out from his own line at Northern end. Gold Coast 12, Warriors 10. Here's Nickel Bluestar. 6 hyphens in this Warriors side, by the way. Someone asked why do you always say Roger Tuivasa-Sheck's name in full? It just sounds right, and I can't explain why. Here's another one. Down on Watanabe Lesniak. Plays at 30 out. Comes right-hand side off to Kirk Catewell. And Catewell, who was cut open in that first half, stands in the tackle of Molney and also Kieran Foran. Quick set, this one for the Warriors. Stowers Smith, his first receiver. Tackled by Campbell Gillard. Now it's last play, 40 out. Martin off to Tanner Boyd. Kicks high in the air here. It sets a task for the winger down there in Philip Sami. And Gold Coast will go back on the attack. Kiana, 28 from their own line. They lead 12 points to 10. 3 minutes gone in the second half.
It's almost a repeat of the first half. You know, everyone's just completing their steps, kicking to the corners. Now we just have to wait to see who makes the first error.
And Foran goes across here to Bo Fermor. Straightens his run there into Ford and also Halasima. Play it now to Molney at dummy half. What a big role he's having to play tonight. Of course, no Sam Farrell, so remained in Australia for the birth of his first child, and also Chris Randall, who was to be at dummy half, suffering the head knock earlier. Campbell darts back on the inside here on Halasima. He's driven to the turf there by a defensive reinforcement to Marty Martin. Last play for the Gold Coast Titans. Foran off a step, high kick, and again Tuivasa-Sheck goes up and brings it down. And off that a new set there, the Warriors 20 out from their own line, 10 in from the eastern side.
Yeah, great take. There's been a couple of good takes by RTS in the second half, and I must say that I can't believe that the Warriors, when they kick, they don't put kicks up that are contestable, because if you're contesting, you're a chance of getting the ball back. Jaden Campbell, his footwork is causing all sorts of nightmares for the Warriors defence.
Run from Pompey, played now 30 out centre field. Coming right-hand side of the park. This time, Watanabe Lesniak coming back now. Early kick does come from Harrison Feeder on the second last play, and fielded back there by AJ Brimson, who charges is back to that 50-metre line where he's met solidly by Dimitri Raimona. And he'll play at 20 and from the eastern side, AJ Brimson will play for England in the Ashes series later on this year, Gibbsy, we imagine. He's eligible.
He's a good player. Victor Radley probably too.
Gold Coast 12, Warriors 10. 4.5 played, second half. You're on ABC Sport. You're with Brett Sprigg, John Gibbs, Count Takanagi. The first of our 3 games. Penrith West Tigers coming up next. Souths and the Sharks in Gosford later on. Dummy half Maloney here. Play 4 now for the Titans. Off to Campbell. And now linking up wide here with Alec Winky. Play at 40 out. Played back now again to Maloney. Straightening run here from Mo Fodawaker. Takes a couple of Warriors with him. Good post contact, Peter Ridge from him now, 25 out, off to Campbell, last play kick, up to that northeastern corner, it's off the chest of Nickel Clue Star, 6 more now for the Titans that come from Brimson to the Groot, couldn't quite get the footy beyond that corner post.
Have no try, just see whether there's a knock on first by Gold Coast in the
He's
contest.
just checking something in the lead up there is ref Jerry Sutton.
Got a knock on Warriors, I've got no advantage. We're then looking to see if he goes touch and go.
Okay, so a couple of things
I've got no advantage.
Open things up here for the Gold Coast Titans.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here, but at least that's what happens is you put up a bomb that can be contested. It's knocked on by Nickel Klukster, there's hands all over the place, so they'll need another look at that, and that's exactly what they do. But the bottom line is you didn't get to try.
What do you reckon, Kiana?
Yeah, it's a hard one because it looks like the Titans player there, Brian Kelly, I think it is. It looks like he's touched as well.
I'll listen to Adam G, the bunker.
Yeah, I'll let you know where it's at.
The first touch is off Chance, which is a knock-on, and then there's a double knock-on off the Gold Coast post that we have a decision.
There you go. So Titans get the ball back. Yeah, Titans scrum feed here. Only about 10 metres out from that northern line. Mitch in the Highlands says Waz are a bit like the Eels. When Mitch isn't there, they miss a little hook. Go Para.
Mitch Barnett.
Yes, and Mitch Moses beat the Parramatta one. Good on you, Mitch. The namesake Mitch in the Highlands. More of your text shortly as well if we can. 0467920222.
That would be a try.
Possible. I don't think he looked like he was convinced either, Joe.
Yeah, but it was a knock on there. It was a double knock on. The first knock on against the Warriors. Here comes the Titans.
Here they go, left-hand side of the scrum. Campbell's angled run. Dragged down though by centre void. It's going to be 6 more here as the defence was slow for the Warriors. Now Campbell Gillard backs his way into Vimalna, and also in there was Jackson Ford, 8 metres out centre field. Maloney comes left-hand side. Foreign. It's passed behind Brian Kelly and now retrieved by the Gold Coast centre. Takes on Capewell with it stripped loose 1-on-1. Now it's going to be a whistle from referee Jared Sutton.
Warriors, 1-on-1. Knock on. You can tell us if you want, but we've got a 1-on-1 strip that's knocked on in the strip.
Okay. So it's effectively double knock-on, I suppose. There is.
Correct.
Yeah. So
it was correct. It was knocked on. They went for it. There was 2 strips in that little play, and the second one by the Warriors was it travelled forward. So when the ball goes to the player, he strips it off him, but unfortunately he brought the ball forward. So Jared Sutton, he doesn't always get it right, but he was right on it.
I don't think the Warriors are convinced that there's any chance of a challenge. So they're going to just do the right thing here and defend that scrum as the Titans come left-hand side of the field. Again, here's Brian Kelly. Fends off Capewell. Still going Kelly. Stopped by Watney, the Lesniak, and also in there is Diakore. 6 metres is short of that northern line, northwestern corner of Mount Smart Stadium. Forward. Back across here to Campbell Gillard. And he backs his play again into Vimalna, just like in that previous set. Play 2 here for the Gold Coast Titans. Maloney to the right-hand side for it. To Campbell off to that corner now where it's Alec Winky, and he takes 3 Warriors defenders with him. He'll play it now. 3 minutes shy in that northern line. Gold Coast deep in attack. Warriors defending. Campbell, the Kieran Foran, over his pass across the top, and Philip Sami can finish it off. Good vision from Kieran Foran. threw it deep to that western touchline, and Philip Sami scores his second try of the game, and Gold Coast extend their lead. 16-10, can you believe it? We've played 5 minutes in this second half on ABC Sport, John Gibbs.
Oh, that was beautiful play there by the Gold Coast Titans. They had the Warriors under a lot of pressure. They had lots of ball at the start of the second half. That's 16 unanswered points now, but it was great work. It was Jaden Campbell who, on this occasion, he showed them the ball. They don't know whether he's going to run, whether he's going to pass. He passed it to Kieran Foran. Dallin Watney-Zelezniak. He ran it off his wing like a mad thing, and as a result, Kieran Foran said, "Thank you very much." He doesn't play as many games and have as much experience. He just threw the ball over the top. He ran onto the ball, dragged out the feeder, and he's Phil Sami, should I say, and he scored a comfortable try. A beautiful try, beautiful setup though by Foran.
Yeah, Cal, a nice moment in this game for Kieran Foran, as I say, playing his last game as a first grader in his birth city of Auckland, and he sets up the try there for Philip Sami.
Yeah, really special play there by Kieran Foran. It's his 50th club game as well for the Titans, so a nice touch there. Just showing his experience. He just saw the numbers that they had.
Grease increase here, and Campbell has that ball off the right-hand upright and it goes in. So that makes it Gold Coast 18, Warriors 10. Sorry, as you were.
No, just, showing his experience there, Kieran Foran, with that beautiful long ball. Great try there by the Titans.
Campbell's 3 from 4, including a penalty. Around the grounds, by the way, in the NRLW halftime, Roosters 32, Bulldogs 0. Carlisle, Baxter and Butler all with tries. New South Wales Cup second half, Manly Warringah 28, Penrith 18. First half, Newtown 16, St George Illawarra 4. Queensland Cup second half, North Devils 10, Wyndham Manly Seagulls 4. First half, Central Queensland Capras 18, Western Clydesdales 10. Well, in the second half, AFL fourth quarter, Gold Coast leading Brisbane by a total of, 66 points in the Q clash. And we're welcoming our ACT and Gold Coast listeners from the AFL on our NRL coverage shortly, midway through this second half. We've played 9 minutes here, and Gold Coast have scored the first try of this second half through Philip Sami. So that makes things very interesting. Aaron Clark back in the action here, doing some defensive work as the Titans continue on the attack. It's play 4. Ball carrier is Jojo Fafita. Play at centre field. Maloney. Open side left here. On to Brimson. And he darts right into the tackle there of Jackson Ford. On the last play, it's on halfway. And it's been lost backwards by David Jolliffe. Gathered by Campbell. They go right-hand side to De Groot. He can kick the winger. Back in field. Tuivasa-Sheck hasn't lost a contest, I reckon. He did make an error in the first half, but under the high ball so far tonight, John Gibbs, he's been exemplary.
Yeah, he has been, and that was a dangerous play there again. Drop ball, went backwards, and Jaden Campbell picked up. They're in a hole at the moment, the Warriors. They can't seem to get out of it, and they're just going one out stuff. That won't get the job done.
Still half an hour left in the game as Tuivasa-Sheck got a carry here into Fodawaker, and also Jamin Jolliffe. Play 35 out to his own line. Over the 40 they go here. It's come to the right-hand side. Tanner Boyd. Last play kick from the Warriors. Boyd against his former side. Down towards the opposite 10-metre line where the man waiting for it is Philip Sami. He's scored 2 tries in this game so far. And now at dummy half, it's swung back across open side right. And the Gold Coast Titans continue on the attack. Tackle ball and all down there is Josh Paxton, who debuted back in round 15 against Manly. That was actually a win, their last win. So it was 6 weeks ago now. They might be good for one here. 18-10 the Gold Coast Titans lead. Sorry, force of habit. It's a New Zealand game. It comes to halfway here. And Campbell Gillard on play 4 is tackle. Plays it down to Maloney. Off to that open side right, Fodawaker. On a darting run, Clark makes the tackle in concert with Chanel Harris-Tavita. Another of those full namers, just sounds better. 40 out from that northern line. They come blindside right. A kick from Campbell last play. Onto the chest there of Nickel Klupstar this time. time. Left knee heavily strapped. He almost leaves Josh Paxton there in his wake. Going to play it there after the tackle of Jojo Fafita. 15 out from his own line. Now to Abasa Sheck on play 2, and it will be penalty Warriors as the contact was a little too high there from Bo Fermor. Or maybe it was Campbell, but it looked like it was Fermor initially. And it will be penalty Warriors. 18-10 is the Gold Coast Titans lead here. John Gibbs, 12 gone second half, ABC Sport.
Well, they needed that. And look, they just have sharper players at the moment, the Titans. Players like Jaden Campbell, AJ Brimson, they're really worrying the Warriors. And the Warriors don't seem to have anyone who's capable of getting out of this at the moment. They're going to need something special like a Halasima or something.
Penalty count, he's special. Penalty count 3-2 Warriors for what it's worth. Scoreboard 18-10 Gold Coast. Here is at dummy half. Martin, flat ball there to find Clark. And now Wood breaks up that left-hand side. There is Halasima. 20 out, 20 in Eastern touchline. Martin dummy half on play 4. Back to Aaron Clark. Goes charging into that wall of Gold Coast defence. Brimson in there as also was Alec Winky. Play it 9 out to the field. Martin off to Fisher Harris. The crowd wheels them on here. Boyd off to Niokore, and he's tackled. Big play it was in defence from Kieran Foran. This is last play Warriors. Tanner Boyd running crossfield kick. Up it goes. Batted down here by the Warriors and knocked over the dead ball line by Jaden Campbell. Halasima competed through the air, brought it down. This will be, unless it was, it was the knock off from him, so it will be a restart from 20 and 7, 10-metre restart there for the Warriors. Changeover. For the Titans, changeover, because it was the last play knocked down by Halasima. Thanks, Gibbsy. 18-10, the Gold Coast Titans lead. 13 gone second half here on ABC Sport. And they go up Main Street here, the Gold Coast Titans through Philip Sami. Trying on the half so far as Paxton gets involved again off the bench. Up against some mercy as well. They did lose Chris Randall, their starting hooker. Also without Sam Verrills, who is waiting the birth of a child in Australia. AJ Brimson up through centre field. 40 out from the Warriors line at Northern End. This is last play Gold Coast. Maloney, low flat ball to Campbell. His kick goes high and long downfield to Nickel Klugstar. And by the time he's tackled, 15 out from his own line. That's the Warriors will start a new set. Can't take a rugby. 18-10 is the Gold Coast lead.
Sorry, boys. I was having a look at the Warriors' missed tackle count there because I think anytime Jaden Campbell gets the ball, he's probably beating 1 or 2 defenders. So I think he's the key for the Titans getting this win tonight.
Capewell, up the right-hand side he goes. As they'll play at 35 out. Niokore is off the field here. Back players. Now it's been... Niokore. Is that forward or roll? No, it wasn't. It wasn't correctly played there by the New Zealand Warriors. So Titans will keep this 18-10 lead for now. 14 gone second half. Tony Munderberg says it was a new moon last night. Waxing crescent moon is tonight's one. Thank you, Mitch. It was a dark moon last night, mate, says Mick in Cairns. I was way off. But day one of the new moon. We're still a couple of weeks away from the next full moon, which is on the 9th of August.
That was from Kirk Capel, by the way, and it was he's experienced enough. He just didn't look like he didn't attempt to play the ball, so that was fair enough. And they're under pressure. They're both completing these sides at about 90%.
Yeah, Maloney here from dummy half for the Gold Coast Titans. Foran back on the inside now, linking up with Josh Paxton. Takes Jacob Laban with him. Laban's out there for Niokore, and now from dummy half, left-hand side of the park is Maloney with Foran, and now left-hand side to Fermor. Plays it 8 metres out from that northern line. It goes to Brimson, puts in the kick, and Brian Kelly falls on the ball a metre out from that northern line. What's Jerry Sutton saying here?
Give me a chance. This is what I'm trying to do. Gee, reviewing here, I don't believe we got a penalty try. We're looking to see whether Dallin Watini and Leslie Act commits a professional foul. Okay. Brian Kelly getting a clean play at the ball.
It wasn't obvious to the naked eye, but
He's tackled him without the ball.
10 minutes you'll get, Brett. It's big.
You can see it again here as he...
Next side kick chaser off.
In there. This is Adam G, the bunter. Well, I'm making sense of it as well.
He's way off Kelly.
Kirk Capewell is committed to the tackle on Brimson. He's playing on.
Yep, and he cleans up Brian Kelly. The ball
10 minutes in the bin. Yeah. That'll be 10 minutes in the bin, and they'll have the ball right on the Warriors line. They're in trouble. 18-10, they lead it from that. That's 18 unanswered points, and looking like scoring more.
Just reviewing the actions of Dallin here. makes sense prior to him receiving the ball. Just looking at perspective of other defenders around now.
Jared Sutton said, it's not a penalty try. Get on with it. Give him 10 in the bin. Get on with the game because this is assisting the Warriors who are getting a much-needed breather. Allen's had not a very good game.
Looking at the possibility of a penalty try due to Jackson Ford and Chance also being in proximity. However, he clearly takes him out without possession. This is a professional foul. We have a decision.
Jared Sutton's on-field call was correct, and this will mean that Dallin Martinez-Lesniak will get 10.
He plays the man, mate. He denies Brian a chance to complete for the ball in a scoring situation.
Wow. There he goes. So he gets marked for 10. Dallin Martinez-Lesniak, and that means they're down a man, and they still remain down 18-10 on the scoreboard, the Warriors.
And the way they play the Gold Coast and they're controlling the ball well, they have been really peeling them open anyway. So with one less player, with a numerical advantage, they could do anything here. If they hang on the ball like they have been, they'll be scoring more points.
Gaz Liverpool says, good arvo and happy footy team. Is the roller coaster picking up a bit of pace? Time will tell, I guess, says Gaz. It certainly will be. Clancy and Ann, thank you for your support as always. Here he goes, Mo Fodder wake up. And he's dragged down in the two-man tackle from that northern line. Left-hand side of the park now, Kieran Florin off to Brimson. They get set restart here, the Gold Coast Titans. So a full set, 18-10. 25 minutes left in the game still, so a long way to go yet. Sami dummy half, open side to the right. And now Florin on to Campbell Gillard. And the 200-plus gamer, New South Wales played for Australia. 10 outside of field here, attacking that northern line. This is only played 2 because of the set restart. Back to Brimson. Looks at the options outside. Holds the footy himself. Draws the contact there of Boyd. He's tackled. And now Marley dummy half. Goes open side right. Off here to Foran. And it's a low ball to Campbell. On here to Jojo Fafita, who came barnstorming through. Takes 3 Warriors over the line. And may have just scored the try. Is he held up? Let's have a listen.
Side of the ball here, mate. On the tackle floor. Starting no try. I just can't see the ball, mate. They'll find it if it's there. He's held up. He's held up, but he got wrong-footed. He went inside the ball. He was going to score, but they came in numbers. They came late, but I don't think he gets the ball down.
What do you reckon, Kiana?
Oh, at first glance, I said no try, but it looks like the ball's got there.
The end of the ball might have just got there. This is closer than I thought. Wow, this is... I'll have to get out.
We can determine if Jojo gets the ball to the ground here in perspective to see if it is over the goal line.
It's over the goal line.
Yeah, that's not the view.
Did he touch a blade of grass? Like the initial call, that's right. It is desperate close. I thought it was clear held up, but he has got really close.
Just about the game. Still a long way to go yet, but they're down to man the Warriors. TWZ in the sin bin.
Oh, look at this. Down. Oh, it does it. I reckon it's down.
There's the natural curvature of the ground, which you can't...
Is on the ground.
That's right.
On the right screen, and on the left screen, we can see that Jojo is over goal line.
Try to Jojo Fafita, which will make it a 22-10 kick to come Gold Coast lead. Goodness gracious.
And that was poor defence, really, because the ball went on the outside. He came infield, Jojo. But he was a very strong runner, but they're entitled to make the tackle. And even at the end, they should have held him up. But he did a good job, Jojo, to get the ball down. He got it just down. They had the vernier calipers out, but it was definitely a try.
Yeah, he was running a really nice, hard, strong line inside. Who was it? There was a... Yeah, he's run a really strong line there. The Warriors scrambled hard. There's 3 of them there trying to get up and underneath the ball, but he's done an excellent job just to get it down.
Down Takarungi alongside John Gibbs. I'm Brett Sprigg. It's the Gold Coast Titans 22, New Zealand Warriors 10, and Dallin Martinez-Lesniak was sin bin only a few minutes ago for a professional foul. So Kieran Foran revving up his charges here. They control the game. Jaden Campbell, who's 3 from 4, including a penalty, which gave them the half half-time lead. Here he is, slight angle right-hand side, makes no mistake. So Jaden Campbell now makes it Gold Coast 24, New Zealand Warriors 10. The Warriors haven't scored since, the 9-minute mark of the game. After that Leka Halasima second try of the game. So the upset is brewing here in Des Hasler's milestone match. Missy on the mount, thank you for your text. Neil says, is this the 2025 Warriors? I have the Warriors from 2 years ago come to play. Hi Brett and team, really wonderful play by Foran. He's a champion. I really like both the Warriors and the Titans. I hope the Titans win for Desi and Foran's sake. Really enjoying the call, says Roger Storm King. I mentioned Gaz's text earlier. Rocky says DWZ embracing the Sivo style of defence. And thank you to those who have sent texts as well. Bondi Jack and Greg and the Murray as well for your text. 0467 920 222. Back to the action here, where Gold Coast leads 24-10. And there's an angle run through centre field by Jojo for feeder. Played 20 out, Maloney. Back to the right-hand side to Alec Winky. The play at 30 out, get in from the eastern side. All of a sudden, 12-10, even then the results seem fanciful, Gibbsy and Chiana, but Gold Coast have shown extra class in this second half so far.
They have, and they've had all the ball, and they haven't moved from.
Second last play, big one from Brimson. Sorry, Gibbsy. I left it there for you as he played 20 in from the eastern side. Now comes back Maloney to Campbell, and it's a high kick downfield. 10 out from that northern line. Nickel Klukestar retrieves it, and he's tackled 15 out from his own line now.
Well, can they get out of this one? They got out of it against Newcastle, but they're not looking like it. And credit to the Gold Coast, they've played really, really well.
Right, not yet at the halfway mark of this second half. Dylan Watnose Lesniak in the sin bin. So we've got still 22 minutes left in the contest. Gold Coast 24, New Zealand Warriors 10. This will certainly test Andrew Webster's men if they can fight back. Played there from Pompey to score the first try of the game. Come through centre field now as that's carried by Fisher Harris. Played 40. By Fisher Harris, played 40 out. Clark off here again to Tanner Boyd. Left hand till they shift it now as Martin steps back on the inside. Wrapped up by Alec Winky. He'll play at 5 inside Gold Coast territory. At dummy half, Harris to the last play. Warriors. Boyd, a high spiralling ball in front of that new mood in Auckland. It comes down there to Jalen de Groot. And Gold Coast back on the attack. And they'll start a new set, 20 out from their own line, 20 in from the eastern side. Gold Coast Titans 24, New Zealand Warriors 10 here on ABC Sport. Round the grounds very shortly, but the play goes on here as Philip Sami bounced off one tackle and now brought down by Jacob Laban. Jalen de Groot's clutching at the back of his head or his neck, so it might be an issue for him in back play as Bo Fumu, who passed his earlier HIA, plays now for the Titans on tackle 4. Campbell Gillard at first receiver, runs onto it quickly. 3 Warriors stop him. On halfway now for the Titans. It's come to Campbell. He can dash away. Almost for the break himself, but he's stopped from behind there by that man Halasima. Last play, Gold Coast. It comes to Kieran Foran. Off a step, high kick in the air. Now Nickel Klukestar. Warriors back on the attack. We're at the hour mark of the game here. So 20 minutes left in Auckland. It's the Gold Coast Titans 24, New Zealand Warriors 10. Tuabasa Sheck receives the footy. Wrapped up by Maloney and also in there Fodder Waker. 35 out, 20 in from the eastern side.
Well, you don't say this very often, but with a lot of confidence. But in this game, albeit 20 minutes to go, 24-10, if the Warriors don't score next, they're gone. And they get a penalty, and that will help. Mo Fodawaker there, incurring an infringement in the ruck, and that was unnecessary because they've got them done to a dinner.
So, penalty count in the game so far now, 4-3, the Warriors' favour. Nathan WA says, how in God's name did CNK at Nickel Klukestar not get banned in the first half? We discussed this off here, didn't we? When he got wrong-footed, then he threw his leg out of the attacker in that first half.
And his hand.
You can go back, I think it was more his hand, wasn't it? But you can sort of go back on these things. I don't think that's the reason necessarily that, well, I suppose, yeah, they would have been down a man earlier, wouldn't they, the Warriors? But 24-10. Here it's Boyd on now again to Jacob Laban, tackled by Fermor. Play it 20 in from the western side, 20 out from that southern line. Clark to Boyd, off to Martin. He gets to the one tackler, still going here. He shifts it wide into Tuabasa Sheck, who comes back on the inside and scores a try behind the posts. RTS is in. Didn't the Warriors need that? 18 and a half left. Gold Coast 24, the Waz 14. Kick to come Warriors at a packed Mount Smart Stadium, John Gibbs.
Well, he's been playing very strong. He's diffused some bombs, and he is one of the players that has looked dangerous. But he got the ball on the outside. It was good work. Tannerboy gave the ball to Tamari Martin, and Tamari Martin had a couple of choices. Would he go to the centre and Adam Poppy, or will he cut him out and give it to Roger Tuivasa-Sheck? Well, he thought, no, I'll give it to Tuivasa-Sheck. And Tuivasa-Sheck, he came up with a trademark beautiful step, one step, and he was inside 3 Titans cover defenders. Beautiful try. They needed that. That might give them some hope. There's still a long way to go. Still with DWZ in the bin. Try confirm.
Like you said, the Warriors won't give up. They played the full 80 last week, and I'm sure they're going to do it again. But I think the Titans have done well with covering those long shifts by the Warriors. I think they've just got that one wrong. They probably shot out of the line, didn't stay connected, and the Warriors get over for some points, some much-needed points.
Tannerboy takes the quick kick, so he's now 2 from 3, and the scoreline is the Gold Coast 24, Warriors 16. Steve at Bondi says, you think this is an upset? Just wait until you see the Tigers. Yeah, they're up next against Penrith at Western Sydney Stadium. Good on you, Steve. Tommy Manley says Des will be the first player, first one into the showers after the game. After all that controversy last week, where he dragged out the Gold Coast players going for early shower. Unbelievable, says Joy, not Ipswich. What on earth's going on with the Titans today? Wow. So
they've played well. I mean, they're being stiff. They just don't produce it often enough.
Around the ground shortly as well. The NRLW in the second half, Bruce at 32, Bulldogs 6. As we welcome our listeners through the AFL states joining shortly as well. As the Warriors are on the attack. Luke Star plays it here. Welcome Local Radio Gold Coast from the AFL. Your Titans lead the Warriors 24-16. Here's Halasima. The Warriors on the attack. 17 left in the game. Warriors did score most recently. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, and Halasima still going. He drags to Groot, and also in there was Fermor with him. Play 4 Warriors. They've got some momentum back with them now. Nickel Klukstad on the right-hand side. On here to Catewell. Swings it back here. Centre field Fisher Harris to Tanner Boyd. On play 4, Martin takes on Alec Winky. He's claimed there by he and also Molly. 20 out. Left-hand side of the uprights. Dummy half, Harris to Peter. Back to Jackson Ford. Takes on Jacob Alec. He'll play it 10 out in that southeastern corner of Mount Smart Stadium. Here goes Chanel from dummy half. Almost dropped by Tanner Boyd. He goes with the kick now. Up towards. It's Laban knocks it back now. It's the loose footy. Kelly might get there first at ground level. He's taken some heavy contact with his head as well. Raptor and Sun saying it's knocked back first. Gold Coast, or knocked on first. So, Warriors will keep possession here. They scored through Tuivasa-Sheck most recently. They come at one stage 24 points to 10. That will be 24-16 and Warriors ball with 15 left in the game. You're with Brett Spreek, John Gibbs, Gianna Takarangi here on ABC Sport for the first of our 3 NRL games on this Saturday in round 21.
And what about that run, Gianna, by Leka Halasima? He steamrolled them. He Benningham got over half of their side, and it's as if something, they flicked a switch.
Flicked a switch, all right. That was a great set there.
So, Warriors scrum feed, 10 outside the field. Left-hand side they come. There is the most recent try scorer, Tuivasa-Sheck. He darts one way, then the other, and he's eventually accosted there by Maloney. Play it 5 out in front of the post. Coming half, Harris to Vida. Off to Clark. Offloads back to his 5'8". Harris to Vida. Dives on the footy. He'll play it 15 out. This is tackle 3. They trail by a total of 8 points to Warriors, but momentum with them here. Fisher Harris. Tackled by Josh Paxton. Played 5 out right-hand side of the post. Harris went off to Tanner Boyd. Now Nickel Klugstar. Swoops back on the inside now, but he's stopped by Kelly and also Foran. Kieran Foran leads the Titans tonight. And Des Hasler's 500th NRL game as coach. And now there's some heavy contact in there on Nickel Klugstar. So it's going to be a penalty going the Warriors' way. Kieran Foran penalised. He is their captain tonight for the Gold Coast Titans. Of course, no Tino Fa'asumala Aui, no Sam Verrills, who's awaiting the birth of his child in Australia.
I mean, that was penalty, and Dallin McKinney, the Lesniak, out of the sin bin, goes 13 on 13. It wasn't too bad.
So it'll be penalty count 5-3 the Warriors' way so far. Don Watmaze-Lasniak has just returned from his sin bin. It's back to 13 on 13 as Gibsy mentioned. So here they go, the Warriors. As Labour tries his run toward the posts. Still Gold Coast 24, the Warriors 16. Jackson Ford pressing toward that southern goal line now. Stop 2 metres shy. Dummy half, Harris plays it to the left-hand side now. It's come to Boyd. Tipped on to Marty Martin. To Duastick keeps it alive on the eastern touchline. Did he know? Went on anyway. Went for before that. So it's going to be coming back here for a Gold Coast possession, Kiana, and there's 13 and a half minutes left. Gold Coast still leads 24, the Warriors 16.
Disappointing that play there. I think it was Tomato Martin who just he didn't look. He just passed without looking, hope for the best, I think, and it didn't pull off for them. So Titans get away with that one pretty easily.
It was unnecessary.
Yeah.
Cody's asked Jojo and David brothers, and they're cousins, the feeders, aren't they? Jojo and David, they're cousins. Comes feed left-hand side here to the left-hand side of the paddock and tackled out there for the Gold Coast Titans. Playing it now. It's come away quickly. The play goes on here. It's offloaded from Paxton. Back here to Jaden Campbell. Playing 20 out from that southern line. 13 minutes left in the game. Fodawaker, first receiver. Takes on Pompey. Stands in the tackle of Pompey and also Martin. 30 out, 20 in from the eastern side. Still Gold Coast 24, the Warriors 16. 13 left in the game on ABC Sport. You're with Brett Sprigg, John Gibbs. Can't take a runny here as Jolloff carries the footy for the Gold Coast Titans second last. Maloney fires it back here to the right-hand side, Brimson. And he's on halfway. Last play, Gold Coast. Maloney directs it blindside right. Campbell just thumps it downfield, kicks for distance. Under areas, Watmaze-Lasniak. Flips over, regathers his footing here, and he's still got the footy. And he's held on by 3 Gold Coast defenders inside that 3-metre line, northern end of Mount Smart Stadium. Warriors on the attack, 24-16. They trail at the hands of the Gold Coast Titans. Played by Catewell. Warriors on the attack. On play 3 now to Avasa Sheck. 30 out centre field. Dummy half, Harris to Vita. And now fires it back to Nickel Klugstar. No real gain for him as he's wrapped up there by Isaac Varsumalahowie. It's come flat from dummy half in towards Halaseba, and now Boyd off to Catewell. Brought to the deck by Kieran Foran. Finished short of halfway here for the Warriors last play. Dummy half laid Hannah Boyd. A couple of steps and a kick against his former side. They'd love to engineer a win here for the New Zealand Warriors at home. They trail still by those 8 points. Titans 24, Warriors 16. 11 left in this game.
They need the ball, but the Gold Coast are completing at 95%, which is remarkable for the Gold Coast Titans. And they're in the mid-80s, the Warriors themselves, but the Titans have been so frugal. It's been good.
Jackson Ford laying in the ruck, so it's just played into his head while the Titans going in the attack. So forwards, Fermor, already on play 4 here, they are the Gold Coast Titans. And on halfway, that 24 points to 16 lead here at Mount Smart Stadium. Right-hand side they go. Fodawaker shrugs away Martin, takes on Pompey, put down there. 40 out for the Warriors line. Last play, Gold Coast. Campbell's kick, end of the set. High in the air it goes. Leaping up, Nickel Klugstar brings it down, and he'll play it 15 out from his own line and pull it and counter-attack Rangi.
Another great take there by Chance. I think the Warriors need to get the ball to Halasima. I think he's the key. He looks dangerous every time he has the ball. They need to get it to him.
They need a penalty as well. They need something to get out of the rain.
Yeah, that would be good.
Avasa Sheck, tackle plays it quickly. Watmaze-Lasniak release there with a 15-metre run, and he's up over the 30-metre line here in centre field. Back to Avasa Sheck on the 40. And he's met there by 3 Gold Coast defenders. Platts finished on a halfway. Dummy half, Harris to the feeder. Off to Fisher. Harris, and he's inside Gold Coast territory now last play. From Chanel at dummy half. Here the tenor boys. High torpedo punt downfield. Sets a task there. Did well. Brimson back with the slide up against the padding of the right hand upright. Now back in the field of play. And he'll play 11 out from his own line at southern end. We've got now 9 minutes and 50 seconds left in the game. It's still Gold Coast Coast 24, the Warriors 16, John Gibbs.
Yeah, and they're going well. The Gold Coast is still not dropping the ball. I'd like to see the midfield bomb from the Warriors, not the ones that they can easily defuse. You need to contest for the ball at the moment. There's less than 10 minutes to go, 9.5 minutes to go, and they trail by 8.
There's Philip Sami, centre field run for the Gold Coast Titans. 24-16 is the Gold Coast lead here. As Gibbsy said, 9.5 left. Brimson gets involved. He's collared there by Jacob Laban. Play at 40 out to his own line. This will be the last play now, Gold Coast. Dummy half Maloney off to Campbell again, just kicking high and long down toward that northern goal line. Caught by Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. And he's again swarmed on there by Fodawaker, and also in there Isaac Farr-Sumala-Aui for the Gold Coast Titans. Watanaza Lesniak was sent in earlier in the second half. Can he repay his teammates? Over the 30-metre line now, it's Nickel Klugstar over the 40. Still inside his own half at Mount Smart Stadium. Harris Tavita off to Tanner Boyd. On to Halasima. Tackle 4. Goes a successful fend here. Feeds it back to Tanner Boyd. Through a couple of sets of hands. Ends up with by Malna, and eventually now tackled by Maloney and also Jolliffe. 35 outs in the field. Second last play, Boyd back with the pass here toward Jacob Laban. Last play, Warriors 25 out right hand side of the park. Dummy half, Harris Tavita onto his halves partner in Boyd. He kicks into the set. Up they all go. Oh, DeGroot did well through the air for the Gold Coast Titans, and he'll play it 8 metres out of that southern goal line. Gold Coast still lead here, Gowner 24 points to 16. 8 minutes left on ABC Sport.
Yeah, you just saw Tanner Boyd blowing up there at the left edge. He tried to play flat and fast, but the left edge wasn't there with him, so hands were up in the air. He didn't look happy with that one.
Bo Fermor passes HIA earlier in the game. Has the 40 tackled there by Laban and also Harris Tavita. 13 outs in the field. They're attacking away from their own southern goal line here, the Gold Coast Titans. Already on play 4 though, still inside their own red zone. Comes away here to Brimson. They've got a flick pass there back from Fodawaker. And now Kelly brought down by the foot. He's come loose. Good tackle from Harris Tavita and also by Nunga, unless it was raked. Really going Gold Coast's way. Okay, that's big. Gold Coast still in here, 24 points to 16. 7 minutes left in the game.
Well, they're going to show.
He's guilty here.
Okay, Warriors challenging the ruling of the strip. Dimitri knows his strip. Why would he challenge?
Dimitri is always on the ball and tackling.
Well, it comes loose. So,
any stripping action.
a Hail Mary might just work, Gibbsy.
Well, it's more than a Hail Mary. What I'm saying is if he'd known that he'd stripped it, it would have been silly because you need to get the challenge, and that would be there for that's a loose carry. They get the ball back to Warriors.
Gold Coast error. Warriors last possession, but they're running out of time. They trail by 8 points, so it's 24 points to 16 with 7 minutes left in the game.
Well, can they do it again? That was sloppy work there, really in the carry, and strong work by Vaimonga. And Vaimonga knew that he had to stripped the ball, so they had their challenge, and that's why you pick your challenge and use it wisely.
Around the ground shortly as well. Of course, the next game, Plymouth versus West Tigers at Western Sydney Stadium. South and the Sharks at Gosford later on. Warriors scrum 30 out. Left-hand side they come. They got the full set here. Tuivasa-Sheck will play it. 20 out from that Gold Coast line. Fisher Harris, who's crowd wills the one at Mount Smart Stadium. 5-2 as far as wins at home this year. Here's Harris Tavita, takes on Brimson. And he's brought down there on play 3. 5 outs in the field. And it's come loose from Harris. It's going to be a Warriors error.
Ball plant.
Gold Coast with Stan.
He can challenge, but he planted the ball on the ground before he was in any position to play it. Shot clock on.
So, they will challenge here, the Warriors.
Adam, the ruling is that he puts the ball to ground before he's in a position to play it. It's a ball plant. It's a ball plant, but the bloke's all over him, so this is one of those could go either way. But because he's called a ball plant, Adam G will go with.
Have a listen.
Chanel
has the ball planted with the left arm also on the ground and his knee. he must pick up the ball to make a genuine attempt and to play the ball. The ball plan is prior to any ruck interference. The challenge is successful.
This little crackdown on incorrect play the balls.
Fair enough.
The last couple of weeks.
They know, Brett, that was a ball plant because he wants to hastily get up and play the ball, but he's got to pick the ball up. And Jamie Jolliffe was all over him like a rash. But he still would have been over him, but he didn't need to do the ball plant. I can understand, and the players know this. The roll ball, the ball plant, it's all going asunder for the Warriors, and that's the correct decision.
I don't like it. I don't like the ruling. I feel like he's found his front. He's trying to get the quick play of the ball. It's a tricky one, that one.
All right, Gold Coast scrum feed.
I don't like it either. But it is the rule.
Gold Coast scrum. Minutes out from their own line, Southern End. Gold Coast 24, Warriors 16. We've now got 6 minutes and change left in this game at Mount Smart Stadium. It's come back to Philip Sami. They pile on him. He'll play it now. 15 out from his own line. Furmore. It's out of that red zone again here. 10-metre run here before he's tackled by the Akore. On the 30 here they go, the Gold Coast Titans. And it's going to be a penalty here going Gold Coast way. He was warned there on the Akore by referee Jared Sutton. So penalty Gold Coast. It's now penalty count of 5-4 in the game the Warriors way. We've seen ruck infringements 4-3 Gold Coast plus 2 more for inside the 10. Now the visitors find touch on the eastern side of Mount Smart Stadium. 5.5 left in the game. Gold Coast hangs on to a 24-16 lead here. Brought back into play by Alec Winky. He does surrender there with the tackle of James Fisher-Harris. Dummy half Mullen. Open side left. On here to Isaac Farsumala-Aui. Straight to his run there in Harris the beater, and also in there Dimitri by Melner. Play at 25 out centre field. Mullen to the left-hand side this time. He's been good Cleese Haas. It was show and go, and then brought down by Fisher-Harris. And he'll play it there. Haas 20 out from that northern line. Mullen across to the right now for Foran. Back on the inside, trying to get something going with Isaac Farsumala-Aui. We're into the last 5 minutes of the game now. Gold Coast lead by those 8 points. Here's Cleese Haas. Left-hand side of the post. He is now 3 metres shy of that Warriors line. It is last play the Gold Coast Titans. 24-16 their lead. Dummy half Mullen waits there. Watching right hand. Lost backwards here towards Mullen. Back to Foran up against the uprights, and he's stops. It will be a changeover. He was still in the field of play. Nichols Fluke-style play there out from his own line. Warriors back on the attack. Titans 24, Warriors 16.
Padding stopped there. Kieran Ford thought he was going to have a fairy tale literally in Desmond's 500th game and his 50th for the Gold Coast Titans, but he was prevented from scoring by Padding.
If that was John Gibbs here at Padding, would have been no worries. You would have been able to go in there. It was a whole half a minute or so.
Broken your arm on the goalpost.
24-16 here, Gold Coast lead. 4 minutes left in the game. Warriors on the attack. Mike Melner up right as they go. Here's Watanazer Lesniak. And he's stopped there by Jolliffe and also Ford, just short of halfway. Second last play, Warriors. Boyd swings it across. That shift to the left now. Martin on to Pompey. On the outside there, and Tuivasa Shekri. He won't get that pass away. He's brought down by Jojo Fafita. Played there by Pompey. On that left edge, quite deep. Comes to Martin. Last play. Oh, it's intercepted. Intercepted by Jaden Campbell.
The game is dead.
Good. Campbell, tackled immediately here. He'll play at 35 out from his own line, Southern End.
In the gully.
Gold Coast 24, gully flight catch. Gold Coast 24, Warriors 16. 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in Auckland. This could be the biggest upset of the year, but a few of them, I reckon, Gibbsy. This is up there.
It's up there, but it's not the biggest. But I think in Desmond's 500th game.
Oh, it's huge. Sami on the right-hand side. No Big Tino. No David Fafita. No Sam Farrell. They lost Chris Rennell, their backup hooker as well, who was a named hooker. He had a head knock early in the game. Here they go with Regan Campbell-Gillard. Centre field 25 out. Last play, Gold Coast. Campbell off a step. End of the set. His kick. It's Nickel Tuivasa Shek through the air. But it's back here for the Titans. 6 more Gold Coast. No, so the last is referee Jared Sutton. And into the back of him goes Fisher-Harris. So Warriors get the footy back. 2.5 minutes left on the clock.
Last tackle,
Gold Coast 24. They will challenge this just to
touch from the Warriors.
see if they get a full set.
people need to clear offside.
The referee, Jared Sutton, said it wasn't played at.
Tuivasa-Sheck looked like he touched it.
Yeah. Said he wasn't knocked on by the Warriors, but
Kick chase have been cleared as onside.
the first hand up there belongs to the Gold Coast. No touch on that from Tuivasa-Sheck.
At this point, it's backwards off the Gold Coast.
See whether there's a secondary touch.
And Winky knocks it into Alasima.
Just need to see if there's a knock-on prior to the Warriors getting a second touch.
I reckon Jacob Winky gets a touch.
Yeah, he does. Got the full palm of his hand into Alasima.
Knock the ball forward into the Warrior player.
Jacob's got his hand.
Unsuccessful challenge Gold Coast, but they still lead 24 points to 16.
Marcus over here, James.
Yeah, and they've got a long way to get down the other end of the field. Haven't really looked like it, and control of the Gold Coast has been magnificent. But Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, he's run for nearly 300 again. He does it every other week. He's incredible.
No tackles.
Time running out here for the Warriors. Comes to Tuivasa-Sheck. By the way, second half NRLW around the grounds there. Roosters 42, Bulldogs 14. As they go up. That's a big one. Centre of the field, centre of the field here, the Warriors. Good run from by Mama, who's a bit slow getting up. With 2 minutes and 12 seconds left on the clock. New South Wales Cup second half, Manly 40, the Panthers 34. Second half, Newtown 26 leads the Dragons 10. Queensland Cup full time, North Devils 16, Wynnum Manly 8. Second half, Western Clydesdales 20. Central Queensland Capras 18. First half, South Logan 16. Magpies lead Townsville Blackhawks 4. Women's rugby, the Wallaroos have lost to Wales 21 points to 12 in the AFL full time. As our Gold Coast audience are aware, the Suns beat the Lions by 66 points. Underway in the Western Derby, Fremantle 40 leads West Coast 12 in the quarter time score there. That's all at the league here. 2 games sort of come in this NRL round 21 Saturday. Dimitri Kaimung is being assessed on field there at Mount Smart Stadium. But coming up next, Penrith versus West Tigers at Western Sydney Stadium, which we'll hear with Andrew Moore and the team. Later on at Gosford, it's Souths and Cronulla to close our Saturday night.
So let's hope it's not too serious, but it doesn't look good because Dimitri Kaimung knew before he went down that he was in trouble, and as a result, was always at Suamala-Awi and also Suamala-Ni, who had great
Warren's just having a chat with the
And he
referee.
comes down on the ankle, mate, with force. You're in the bin.
Wow.
Dangerous contact. Well, that's how we've assessed that one, mate.
So that's Sean Maloney, who's
he'll be getting the early shower.
Being an early shower there if Des Hasler approves of it. But sin bin, the second sin bin of the game. The first was John Watney-Lesniak for the Warriors, and now Sean Maloney will see out no further part. Also playing in his home city of Auckland, which is alongside among us. That could be significant for the Warriors, so fine touch on the eastern side. Penalty count 6-0 the Warriors in this game. Gold Coast on the scoreboard lead 24-16. But under 2 minutes left here at Mount Smart Stadium. Warriors on the attack of Fisher Harris. Play on the halfway. Through hands again and out wide to Alasima, and also in there Corey plays on the halfway. Back to Harris to Peter, and now Boyd to Martin. Alasima involved. Can he find that magic? Yano, he's not quite there. He's still a good 25 metres out from that southern line. Back to Martin. Inside ball now. Back to Wainunga. So he's okay. He's still out there, although it's a bit like he's wincing in pain again as he plays the ball there to Harris Peter. So the second last play. Fisher Harris. Now it's lost by Nickel Klugstar. Towed forward by Alec Winky. Gold Coast back on the attack, and that'll be it. If it was already, the game is done. And the biggest upset of the year potentially in Des Hasler's 500th NRL game as a coach will remain Gold Coast 24, Warriors 16. With that left.
He's had a very good game, Alec. He's really played well, and I'd say in his 15-match career, this will be the best of his career. He's played fine. Mo Fodawaker's been good up front, but it's been engineered by the halves. Jaden Campbell and Kira Foran have been magnificent. A great team at the front.
Here they go, the Gold Coast Titans.
Go, 3.
This will get the Titans off the bottom. Although the Rabbitohs, of course, played tonight, although against the Sharks. The Sharks are correctly favoured there. Here goes Campbell Gillard. 30 seconds left in the game. We'll have a brief opportunity to wrap things up here in the the boardroom at ABC Sport HQ. Handing across to Maury and the boys at Western Sydney Stadium for the next game. Cricket versus West Tigers. Sprims a dummy half. Open side right there for him. Stabs his kick up in the air. Launching Nickel Klukestar brings it down. 10 seconds left. The Warriors were willing their team on in this second half. Nathan Lesniak with 7 seconds left. From it all the way back, flick past the Tanner Boyd. Klukestar on here, Catewell. And that flick pass on here was now kicked by the big fella running up the western touchline. And Jaden Campbell jots back there and retrieves it. And it's party time for the Gold Coast Titans. This is quite a win. They had their nose in front in the first half. They salute for the first time in 6 weeks and make Des Hasler a winner in game number 500 as coach. 24-16. What a win for Des Hasler and his depleted Gold Coast Titans. Just their 5th victory of the year. The Warriors will scratch their heads and ask, why? How? Of course, they'll still be top 4 for now. But what a win, John Gibbs, for the Gold Coast Titans.
Well, they thoroughly deserved it because they looked, done and dusted in the 13 minutes when there'd been a couple of tries scored by the Warriors. But then there was some good work, particularly by Jaden Campbell. He was fantastic. And if you needed some cleaning up work, if you needed a little intercept, something, he was there always alongside his able captain, Kieran Foran. It was just a mighty performance. Their completions were in excess of 90%, I'm pretty sure, right through the game. And they just didn't have any answers, the Warriors, when the Gold Coast Titans got their nose in front. So well done to the Titans, and congratulations to Des Hasler.
Warriors scored the first couple of tries of the game for Adam Pompey and Leka Halasima. It was their early 10-0 lead. After that, it was Jojo Fafita, Philip Sami in the first half of the Gold Coast Titans. That Jaden Campbell penalty goal was the difference in the end of 12-10, the halftime scoreline. And we thought, well, could the Gold Coast Titans keep up that? They did that and then some in the second 40. The second try for Philip Sami and also for Jojo Fafita. So 2 tries apiece in this game, and either half for both players. Jaden Campbell, 4 from 5, including a penalty goal, which, as I say, was decisive there at the halftime scoreline. Roger Tuivasa-Sheck did cross late or midway through the second half to really spark the contest, but the crowd couldn't quite get the Warriors over the line. It's a very impressive win, Councillor Karangi, for the Gold Coast Titans.
Yeah, absolutely. Really impressed there, and they definitely deserved to win. You know, they were the better team. Their completion rate was 93% in comparison to the Warriors, who completed at 78%. And I just think they took advantage of all their opportunities. The Warriors looked rattled. I think Jaden Campbell had an outstanding game. Anytime he got the ball, he looked dangerous. So yeah, really well-deserved win. Really happy for Kieran Foran getting a win.
There's a big smile on his face. Big smile on his face, as you can see having a chat to Tanner Boyd there and a few of his, Tanner Boyd having a chat to a few of his former Gold Coast teammates, but a massive smile on Kieran Foran's face. The Titans have now won 6 of the past 7 between the two sides. So they are a buggy team for the Warriors are the Gold Coast Titans.
Well, Des now has won 24 out of 33 games against the Warriors, and he's won 8 of 11 at Mount Smart. It's by far away his best record against anyone. And Louis and Connor Watson were right on it. They went with history. And you.
I did wait for Connor and Louis to go first with their tip. I was on their bandwagon, and the Gold Coast Titans did salute.
And it's a great win. It is an upset, but it's not that dramatic when you consider that they just got over the line against Newcastle last week. I think Parramatta against Brisbane last night. There's 2 big upsets in a row.
Massive. Yeah.
Again, but back to upset city.
But I come back to the fact that no Sam Barrels, no Tino Far-Sumala Aoi, and all of that. And so
that just franks it. That franks it, Brett, for sure and certain. But they were just too good.
So that means they're 4 against. I'm trying to think they're still. And that comes right down to the wire on that 4 against with the South Sydney Rabbitohs. I fancy. Well, that's the 8 points.
They were minus 157.
Yeah, so now they'll be minus 149. No, sorry. Yeah, that's right, isn't it?
That's correct.
Minus 149, which the Souths also are. So they'll be level on points and level on 4 and against with South Sydney. Of course, Souths play tonight at Gosford against
another member of the 500 Club, or easily in the 1,000 Club, Wade Bennett, under pressure to get a wooden spoon.
Waiting for some reaction here on field. I don't think we're going to get that. Gibbsy, who are your 3 best players in the ABC Player of the Year?
Oh, well, 3 points it's got to go to Jaden Campbell. If you agree with that, Kiana, he was just fantastic. And look, I know I'm a fan and I've seen him since he was a little boy playing, but
Kieran Foran going back home, being captain, playing his last game there. He gets 2 points. He just led the side so brilliantly, set up tries, threw beautiful passes. He was all over it.
Well, James, I see you guys all collecting your thoughts on
Let's
that
have a
one
listen to
tonight.
Taylor Curtis with James Fisher-Harris.
Sorry, I didn't hear you, sir. Say it again.
How did you feel out there? I can see you guys all getting around each other.
Yeah, no, they came out to play. Obviously got a shield to play for, so they came out firing. But yeah, credit to them. They bring it.
You hooker very early on, but then Smarty's ability to slot in there. You guys did look good in some spaces.
Yeah, that's it. Just some discipline and some errors along the way, but yeah, we just got to be better as a team.
And what about some words on Marata Nikoroy celebrating his 150th? And to do it here at home?
Yeah, no, it's massive. Yeah, the boys are gutted, to be honest, not being able to get the victory for them, but life goes on. On to next week.
On to the next one. All the best, Ben.
Cheers, thank you.
There we go. James Fisher-Harris there from the losing side with Taylor Curtis going to see the TV broadcaster Sky. So 3 to Jaden Campbell.
2 to Kieran Foran.
Yep.
And, well, 1 point. It's a toss-up. Look, Mo Thorowake was fantastic, but I've got to give 1 to Roger Tuivasa-Sheck, because he tried to do everything in his power to get the Warriors back into the game. He ran for nearly 300 metres again, scored a try, which is an important one to get them back. So 1 point for Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. But the whole Gold Coast Titans outfit, under the circumstances that you have articulated, but all of those players out, and then losing other players.
Let's hear from Kieran Foran quickly.
Pretty good. It's been a tough month of footy for us. We've been pretty competitive, but we haven't been able to get the win. And it's been tough, turning up every week and not coming away with the result. So to get that one today will certainly lift the morale in amongst the group.
What was said at half time? Because, you guys took up another notch.
Yeah, look, we were in a similar position last week against the Tigers, and we spoke about going out there and completing and getting through our sets, and we actually didn't execute that all that well. So that's a really good talking point for us this week. We wanted to fix those errors from last week and actually come out here in the second half and complete, and I thought we did that.
How proud are you with your spine? Your combination with Campbell was unbelievable. It was firing on all cylinders tonight.
Oh, he's exceptional. The sky's the limit for that young guy. I tell you, he's a very talented footballer, and I just got to direct us around the park and give him opportunities, because he turns half opportunities into tries all the time. So yeah, love playing with him.
Your performance tonight, you shouldn't hang up the boots anytime soon, I don't reckon. I reckon we call that call back.
Look, I'm starting to feel it physically. I'm really comfortable with the decision. These boys they're getting pretty big and strong now, and it hurts each time I've got to take the field. But 6 more games to go, so hopefully we can get some more wins and finish the year on a high.
Well, you're looking good out there, and all the best and safe travels home.
Thanks very much.
Kieran Foran there, and he was good today. His 50th game of the Titan and his last game in his home city of Auckland. And as mentioned earlier, the Titans retaining Zay Wallace Shield, honouring a late member of the Gold Coast setup, who also came from New Zealand, was a star junior there. Gibbsy, thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll hear from you tomorrow, I suppose.
Yeah. The Manly Bulldogs, the 1995.
Should be amazing.
30-year reunion.
Chance Rangi, thank you as always for your efforts. We'll hear from you shortly.
Thanks, boys. Good fun. Thank you.
Nice.
Two, Luke Lewis and Connor Watson. Who'd you tip again?
Oh, I told you Titans will win today.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Connor, who'd you tip again?
Yeah, I tipped the Titans too, Andrew.
Who did you boys tip today?
Tip the Warriors. But,
Michael,
Good in you.
well done to the Gold Coast, and Des Hasler's 500th in charge. 24-16 over the Warriors, and gives in the ABC Player of the Year, giving 3 to Jaden Campbell, 2 to Shokora Kieran Foran, and 1 to Warriors winger Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. So, it's close games, the upsets, they continue here in the NRL. Connor, do you have, as someone who's out there week in, week out, do you have a theory as to why we are having so many incredible results?
No, I don't, to be honest, Andrew. Yeah. I just think it proves every week consistently how much rugby league is a mental game as much as a physical game. You know, like every week there's upsets, and, you know, a lot of the time the teams are on paper are better, but, you know, there might only be, you know, a certain percentage better, but it just shows if you're off your game mentally 1%, anyone can beat you in this competition. So you can't take any team lightly. And I think that's the hardest part about it is, like, it's 27 games, you know, it's 24 games. It's a long season. It's not as if it's 10 games where, you know, it's sort of easy to lock in for 10 games and be consistent. You know, it's a long year. There's lots of things, injuries, form, all these different battles. But every week you've just got to be able to turn up and make sure that you're 100% mentally ready to go.
Because it seems to me, at least this year, the days of an 80-minute performance are non-existent.
Yeah, there's definitely been more momentum swings. I don't know if it's the six agains or, you know, whatever that sort of is, but there's definitely more momentum swings. So I think when you've got the momentum, you've got to capitalise on it. Or when you don't, you've just got to do a good job of defending your line. But I think we're seeing a lot more, you know, like you look at our game, 34 to 30 and
30 to 28 against the Tigers.
Yeah, there's just like a lot of games that seem to be around that 30-point mark, you know, where both sides are sort of letting in that many points, and for a defensive coach it'd be a nightmare.
100% it's the set restarts. I'm almost certain of it. The way that the game and how quick it is, and then the fatigue that sets into that defensive line after getting a set restart, doing a full set, and then you go again, then another full set on the line, and then all of a sudden you start making, you know, wrong reads in defence because you're a little bit fatigued, and that little split decision to turn in or stay out or pull back, whatever it is, and those, even like last night, the amount of switches in what's that word I'm looking for? The momentum is mind blowing. Like the momentum just turns. As soon as you get 2 or 3 set restarts, it's all back with the team with the ball in hand.
But equally, that can only last a matter of minutes.
Yeah, correct.
Score 2 tries and then it goes the other way. And even the most consistent team in the comp, Michael, the minor premiers, Canberra. Every time we talk to their players, that's what they're talking about. We can't do it we've got to be better at doing it for longer periods of time, because they do drop off in games, yet they're winning every week.
Yeah, that has been the concern of the Raiders, the fact that they have these lapses against some of those weaker sides for 10 or so minutes, and they get punished. So the fear is if you do that against another top 4 side, or, you know, the other sides in the top 8, it might hurt them in the business end of the season. But you're right, Andrew, like the momentum swings and clubs, you know, teams' inability to stop once they're on the back foot, it just seems to be so difficult. And I like Louis' theory around the set restarts.
Yeah, well, could well be right. There's got to be a reason for it, because we've never, I mean, set restarts have been around, but we've never seen it like it is this year.
No, I don't think it's had this much of an impact on the game. Probably since, you know, when they brought it in firstly, like that changed the game completely, yeah. But I feel like this year more so, it definitely has. It's been a more probably competitive competition because of it. But I think one thing, you know, you talk about that with Canberra and how when they come up against the top 4 sides, but I don't think any of the top 4 sides are doing it consistently at the moment, you know, and it's probably the side that probably wins the comp is the one that works that out towards the back end of the year. How do we hold on to momentum for longer than the other team, or when momentum's going against us? And this is one thing that Penrith have always done so well, is that, you know, that we talk about like live ball football, ball in play, long game, you know, mentality is, you know, just hang. It's hard. You don't want to just hang in there, like you want to attack those moments, but you do. You just got to get through those defensive sets. When the team's attacking your line, you just got to keep turning them away, and then you can break them with your defense that way. And that's what Penrith have been so good at. So I think if there's any side that, you know, we talk about, you know, they run a form that's 6 straight, looking to go on to 7, but going towards the back end of the year, I think that might be the most scariest part about Penrith, is that they've got players who have done that before, and if the other guys, you know, who have come in for everyone that's sort of left can learn to do that sort of football, they've got the bones of that momentum football, how to win those games when it gets long and live, and those big games especially.
And speaking of Penrith, they may now be considered at full strength because Liam Martin is playing. So both Nathan Cleary and Isaiah Yeo were rested last start against Parramatta. They're both named in the team again today. And Liam Martin, after injuring that wrist in Origin 3, He is back. He's going to be on the bench in jersey number 19, replacing Matt Eisenhuth, who played in the New South Wales Cup game, and that was one of those games with all the momentum swings we were talking about. In the end, Manuringa upset Penrith and won by 40 points to 34. So that's the only change for either team, and that's Lee Martin in for Matt Eisenhuth. Paul Alamotti, who's been playing really good footy, is the 18th man, and for the West Tigers, Christian Mapapalangi is the 18th man for them. Around the grounds in the NRLW, the Sydney Roosters completed a comfortable win over the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, 42-22, to remain unbeaten. 42 points to 22. Isabel Kelly, now 20 NRLW tries. She scored 2 today. Earlier in Auckland, Gold Coast 20 defeated the Warriors 10, so they've had a heck of a day across the ditch, the Gold Coast, and getting underway in about 7 minutes, North Queensland against winless Canberra at Townsville Stadium. In the New South Wales Cup, Warriors 68 defeated South Sydney 6. Manuringa, as I mentioned here, defeated Penrith by 40 points to 34. In the second half at Henson Park, is it the Beer Wine Footy Festival today at Henson? Which will be an awesome day. I hope everyone's having great fun out there. And Newtown is leading St George Illawarra 40 points to 16. In the Queensland Cup, North Devils 16 defeated Winner Manly 8. It's 20 all in the second half between the Western Clydesdales, who are last, against second last Central Queensland. And in the second half, South Logan Magpies are leading the top of the table, Townsville Blackhawks 16-14, although the Blackhawks have scored recently, that game in the second half. AFL currently in the second quarter, Fremantle 47 leading West Coast 24. Gold Coast defeated the Brisbane Lions 130-64. We've got Penrith warming up down at the southern end of the ground. Lou, it's Penrith Old Boys Day today. We're having a chat to Brand Alexander before we came.
Yeah, the Old Boys Day down there today. They'll do a lap of honour as well. But so I feel like the Penrith back at full strength, playing some good football, full of confidence, and having all their old boys out there. They won't want to let them down either. I feel like this is a really good opportunity for Penrith to get that 7-game winning streak like we were speaking about. I think it's a tough afternoon for the Tigers. I can't see them getting in this game at all.
But with all of that said, what we're seeing already this weekend and all through the year, is this a danger game then for Penrith?
Well, I think every game's a danger for Penrith at the moment, because although they've gone on that winning streak, they're still not cemented in the top 8, although we all think they're going to finish in the top 8. They've got eyes on top 4. And the result in New Zealand today does them a massive favour. So I like their chances of sneaking into that top 4 once again.
On the text line, 0467 920 222, 0467 920 222. Andrew, let's stop sugarcoating the Warriors. 3 good players are gone. The rest are average. Yes, in the top 4, but they are now bottom 8 talented team. As a Warriors fan, my prediction a month ago was they'll finish 7th and be the first team eliminated. End of story. Love the ABC. Martin, we appreciate that. I think you're very wrong. I think they've got some really talented players still in that team, including the likes of Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. But no doubt injuries to key players, especially Mitch Barnett, and Luke Metcalf to me is the killer. I don't think they can win a finals game without Luke Metcalf.
No, I think that's the biggest blow. Luke Metcalf, the way that he's been playing, or was playing at the start of this year, was phenomenal. You throw Mitch Barnett in there as well with his experience and the way that he was playing. You take those 2 boys out of the side, they've still got a lot of talent there, but they just can't. I don't think they're going to win either. They're not going to trouble teams like they used to trouble with Lukey Metcalf, and that little combination, and obviously the hard-nosed edge there of obviously Mitchie Barnett. So 2 massive losses.
So I agree with your overall point, though, I think, Martin. Can you please? Oh, no, that's an AFL one. We've got a few AFL texts coming. I'll pass them on to Michael. Does the panel think Des Hasler will last the season as coach of the Titans? That would be more likely than not, wouldn't it?
I think season, yeah.
Yeah, he's not going to be on.
He won't be the coach next.
Is Josh Hannay the P for that job?
Yeah.
I think we brought this up a couple of weeks ago. Josh Hannay
had a choice.
If there are 3 positions up for grabs, Newcastle, North Queensland and Gold Coast, and that may well not be the case, but if that's the case, Gold Coast would be your last choice for a coaching job, wouldn't it?
I'll be going to the Cowboys with that talent.
So would I.
If that is a choice.
Yeah, I'd love the Cowboys. Like, you just build a club around Dearden, don't you? And that's, not to mention the other talent that they've got there, but to have your halfback at, 24 years of age locked in, it would make a huge difference. Look, the Titans roster's not that far away. It just needs some rejigging. I don't think it's the Titans. I think the Titans roster's horrific.
Titans roster's good.
They've just invested poorly in terms of David Fafita. I don't know why they signed Regan Campbell-Gillard when it was already a position of strength and a lot of money in the forward They've got 3 high caliber fullbacks on good money on their books. So you make a few adjustments, and I don't think it's as far away as their performance indicates.
Paul at Manly, was this read earlier? It may have been. Des has gone to the dressing rooms to turn all the showers on after what happened last week, while Robbie in Fernvale says Des should retire immediately. 500 games, finish a winner, and did it without David Fafita and Tino. Excuse my ignorance, who is last on the ladder with competition points? Same as differential. Is there another factor? Well, it's the Titans were standalone in last place, but now with that victory, they move up to 16 points, and they join South Sydney and they join Newcastle on 16 points. In fact, Gold Coast for and against differential is better than the South Sydney Rabbitohs. It might even be dead equal after that game. They're both minus 149. So if South lose to Cronulla tonight, South Sydney will be in the wooden spoon position.
Crazy.
And I'll lose to Cronulla.
Crazy to think that South will be finishing last. Like, it's easy to think now because of all the injuries that they've had, but crazy coming into the year.
See, they're one of those teams that I reckon, and I appreciate their injuries have absolutely cruelled them, but I'm taking more into the last 2.5 years. They need a roster clean out. I believe, anyway.
I still think that even over the last 2 years, Andrew, their injury run has been, to keep positions, has been terrible. But it's an excuse, right? When you look at the Dolphins, and look at their forward pack has been absolutely decimated. They've got a starting forward pack on the sideline, and still, they might not make the 8, but, they've given this season a real genuine crack. I don't think the same can be said about South, regardless of the injuries, which are no doubt a factor. But, they got pumped in New South Wales. What was the New South Wales Cup score?
68-6.
And that's because they're just, it's hard for them because they got 48% of their salary cap out today in the NRL.
Yeah, that's outrageous.
That's a lot of money. That's crazy.
It's Jai Arrow. Did I see this week he's one of 2 players who have played every game this year?
And then he didn't finish training yesterday either.
Yeah.
So is he playing today?
I think so. They were confident he was going to play, but he's got a heel problem.
So South Sydney, speaking of which, do play the Cronulla Sutherland Sharks at Central Coast Stadium in Gosford, where